All right. Shalom.
Shalom.
First and foremost, we'd like to give all praise and glory to
Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahweh Shah, Ba'ashem, Rakakadash.
double honors unto the apostles and the elders of GMS who rule well, teach well, being great example to us younger brothers, and peace and blessing, salutations, hopeful look out there, pushing his word and truth and in sincerity across the four winds in the name of Yahweh Ba'ashem, Yahweh Shah, pushing to get up out of here. Shalom to the hopeful look, the believers, the listeners who have came back to the obedience of the scriptures through faith in Yahweh Ba'ashem, Yahweh Shah. All right, we're GMS Mississippi Council. All right, and we come in another week, we come out for another week to bring out the word, man. You know, but right now we're in the time, all right, of prophecy, man. Okay? Matter of fact, you had something? No, get that first Peter 4 and 7. You know? But we're in the time of prophecy, man, where good old America, USA, is finna be in complete chaos, man. Okay? Because America has got to live, you know, deliciously, as the scriptures say, you know, for centuries, man. Okay? But we come into a time of complete chaos, man. You know, the worst time since the world was. Okay? And while these things are happening, what do you see? People still, all right, in this dumbed down state of mind. You know, there's one thing about it. America has emasculated men, okay, overhyped the women, okay, and it's a true nation. Yeah, First Peter 4 and 7.
This is the book of 1 Peter, chapter 4, verse 7.
Yep.
But the end of all things is at hand.
Yeah, the end of all things is at hand, man. They're speaking the end of our captivity, the end of Esau's rulership. Esau is the end of the world, and Jacob is the beginning of it that followeth after, man. Okay? The end of all things, man. Go ahead.
Be ye therefore sober, and watch unto prayer.
Yeah, be therefore ye sober and watch unto prayer, man. Because Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahweh Shah called us to be what? Watchmen. Okay? At the end of the day, as the teachers and prophets of Israel, one of the main things that we're supposed to be doing is watching, man. Okay? Get that.
This is the book of Ecclesiastes, chapter 7, verse 8.
Yep.
Better is the end of a thing than the beginning thereof.
Yeah, better is the end of a thing than the beginning thereof, man. You know, because at the end of all this, Israel will have an eternal kingdom in the earth. Okay? At the end of everything we see, there's going to be an eternal, righteous kingdom established, man. Yahweh Shah sitting on the throne of David, man. We in the time of Yahweh Shah, man. Okay? But the scriptures say, he shall increase, but we must decrease, man. Okay? And if you're following someone that's not in that spirit, you're going down a road of destruction, man. You see? The Most High, Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahweh Shah, is about to really bring it to Jake, man. That's right. There's a lot of games being played, okay? It's a lot of deception going on, okay? It's a lot of disrespect when it comes to Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahweh Shah. The hell with us, man.
Right. No fear of the Lord.
No fear of the Lord. So Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahweh Shah finna bring judgment, and he's gonna make statements, man. Go ahead.
And the patient in spirit is better than the proud in spirit.
Here's the thing of patience, man. Because you know, you gotta wait. We have to wait till we get that glory, man. Of course, as a man, you know, you on the earth, you want rank, you want status.
Right.
Okay? You want the perks that come with being a man in the earth.
That's right.
You know? Of course, we want those things, but it's a thing of patience, man. You know? Then, you know, you got men that's walking around as if, you know, they're in rulership right now. Okay? You got Israelites that call themselves teachers. They move as if they're in rulership now, man. You know? But it's a thing of patience, man. You have to wait. We'll take the low. We'll be the outcasts. We'll be the bums. Whatever, you know, they call us, man. We'll be all that, man. Okay? Go ahead.
This is Ecclesiastes chapter 9, verse 11. I returned and saw under the sun that the race is not to the swift, nor the battle to the strong, neither yet bread to the wise, nor yet riches to men of understanding, nor yet favor to men of skill, but time and chance happen to them all.
Yeah, because see, at the end of the day, you know, we on the time of Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahweh Shah. You know? Right. You got a lot of our people that can't wait. That's why Jake sell out. That's why Jake don't want no parts of the truth, because they look at it as a loss.
Right.
See, Jake look at this ministry as a loss because you're not being accepted in this world, man. But the hell will being accepted of this world if we're accepted in the world to come. If we're found worthy of Yahweh Shai, the hell will be accepted in this world, man. Most of you people gonna die. Okay?
Yeah. But in the kingdom of heaven, it's an eternal kingdom, eternal life. We're going to be immortal, man. You know, so why would you want to continue on and try to build some kind of legacy in this kingdom, which is ruled by rulership that has an expiration date, when you can, you know what I'm saying, put off the old man, you know what I'm saying, put forth the effort to walk in righteousness to the best of your ability, uphold the law, statutes, and commandments to the best of your ability, that you may receive salvation, man. Because, hey, since the Renaissance period, man, since these crackers done come back in the rulership, man, it have this earth, this rulership, the ways thereof have got worse and worse and worse, man. Nothing is being pursued in righteousness, man, unless it's done by the men of the Lord. No one is really giving reverence to Yahweh Shem Yahshai other than the men of the Lord, man. Everybody is engulfed in their own selves, man, lovers of their own selves. Want to be something in his kingdom, man. Want to do. The scripture goes into when a man thinks himself to be something when he is nothing. When a man can think himself to be something when he is, that's like, I'm killing it, bro. We give me the scripture, bro?
Yeah.
Man thinks himself to be something when he is nothing, he deceiving himself. Yeah. That's right, man. Salaki. And a lot of people, man, think they're something that they're not, man, because they are proud. You know, they think they're above everybody else. You know, now you got these platforms where people are making themselves their own idols, man. You got people on these different platforms who missing limbs, man. Don't have no legs, no arms, but they're proud as hell. You know, how can a person in their condition be proud, man? But see, that's this rulership. That's how people are able to look at themselves, because this rulership, man, makes a person feel that they can be whatever they want to be. They can do whatever they want to do, regardless of the situations, man. But see, the Lord is coming back to set things right, man. Because people are just living just complete wickedly, man. You got the LGBT community, man. You know, they constantly, what is they just pretty much, man, just lifting them up, man. I was seeing on the news the other day, man, they just making more and more laws for these people, man.
They're protected.
Right. And you Jakes, man, you just continually accept it, man. Now, we can't just uphold law, statutes, to completely, because we know the scripture says when a person live this type of lifestyle doing sodomy, man, if a man laying with a man as he will lay with a woman, they should put to death, man. You know, but people are accepting regardless of the situation, man, that people do this, man. But when you go in the book of Proverbs, chapter 17, verse 21, it goes into, you know, if you condemn the righteous and uplift the wicked, you know what I'm saying, then you're this is both an abomination, I'm roughly paraphrasing, man. Because we're wrong for pointing out the fact through the scriptures that it's wrong for a man to lay with a man, that it's wrong for a woman to lay with a woman. But we're, you know what I'm saying, called the bad guy for that. But when you have people so-called coming out the closet, you know, they're considered bold. You know, they're right, they're heroes. They're uplifted, man, because of a wicked act, man. But see, finally, it's set in great dignity in this kingdom, man.
I got this is Isaiah 10 and 20. It says, Isaiah 5. All right, this is the book of Isaiah, chapter 5, and verse 20. And it said, woe unto them that call evil good and good evil, that put darkness for light and light for darkness, that put bitter for sweet and sweet for bitter.
Right. Death and destruction to those who accept wickedness, man, basically, man. Death and destruction to those who override the ways of Yahweh Shem Yahshai and implement wickedness, man. You know what I'm saying, on the left-hand side. You're going to be destroyed for that, man, because, especially when you come to Israelites, because we have a code of conduct, man, which is the Holy Scriptures, man, how we supposed to conduct ourselves, how we supposed to carry ourselves, man, because for every action there's a reaction, man. And that's the balance of how about Shimmy outside. If you're doing wickedness, you're gonna receive judgment of a wicked person, man. And if you're doing righteous, you're gonna receive a reward of a righteous person, man.
It's the book of Psalms, chapter 5, verse 4. It said, "For thou art not a power that have pleasure in wickedness, neither shall evil dwell with thee. The foolish shall not stand in thy sight. Thou hatest all workers of iniquity."
In a nutshell, all you wicked people, man, who's doing all these wicked acts, all these abominable acts, I mean, the Lord is going to destroy you, man. That's not something that he approve of, man. Those are not the behaviors that we're supposed to have according to the scriptures when it comes to Israelites, man. Because these heathens, you know, hey, they're not under the laws, man. They're not the Most High's chosen people. So they're not finna be held to a particular standard, man. That's why the scriptures, the Lord said, have seen servants on horses, man. Because hey, this wicked devil is ruling, man. And the only thing following behind it is wickedness. But we're a holy people, a separate people, man. We supposed to walk in righteousness, man. We supposed to follow Yahweh Shem Yahushua to the best of our ability. But to those who doing wickedly, hey, the scripture says, the Lord said, start in my sanctuary, man. So those who know that Israelites, hey, the Lord is coming for you first, man. And you're gonna reap a horrible judgment, man.
It's the book of Jeremiah, chapter 9. Yep. It's Jeremiah chapter 9, verse 25. And said, "Behold, the days come, said the Lord, that I will punish all them which are circumcised with the uncircumcised, Egypt and Judah and Edom, and the children of Ammon and Moab, and all," it says, "and all that are in the uttermost corners that dwell in the wilderness, for all these nations are uncircumcised, and all the house of Israel are uncircumcised in the heart." Yeah, which is their mind. So pretty much this judgment is going to touch every nation, including Jacob. Okay? This is the worst time ever. And then the subtitle to the worst time ever is Jacob's trouble. You know? Because you Israelites, like the brother was going into, man, we was given a standard, you know, to be an example of righteousness in the earth, man. Get that in Deuteronomy 4 and start at 5. You know? 4 and 5. Yep. Get that one you all get that Amos 3 and 1. Yep. Get that Deuteronomy, because we was given a standard to be an example of righteousness in the earth, man. You see, the earth is supposed to be under a righteous vibration, man. That's why the scriptures say that the earth is out of course. You see, go ahead.
This is the book of Deuteronomy, chapter 4, verse 5. Yep. "Behold, I have taught you statutes and judgments, even as the Lord Yahweh, my power, commanded me, that ye should do so in the land whither ye go to possess it."
Yeah, so we was given, okay, the land, the promised land, but there was a standard that came with that land. Okay? See, there's a manual on how to run the earth.
Right.
Okay? And we was given that. Because why? We are the sons of God. Okay? We are an extension of the Heavenly Father. Okay? Beginning with the top son, Yahushua. So we were supposed to set a righteous standard in the earth because we serve a righteous power.
That's right.
Okay? Go ahead. Because like when your parents come to school, all right, what's the first thing they tell you? Boy, you know better than that.
Yeah.
That's the first thing. Boy, you know better than that.
Yeah, I didn't raise you like that.
Yeah. Go ahead.
Deuteronomy chapter 4, verse 6. "Keep therefore and do them. For this is your wisdom and your understanding in the sight of the nations."
So Israel as a nation was supposed to push a righteous influence in the earth, man. The earth is supposed to be under the righteous vibration, man. The earth is cursed because of what? The current rulers are cursed, man.
That's right.
Now we under the curses, but Esau is the people of the Lord's curse, man. You know? Get that in Amos. But since we can hold up to the standard, we receive the worst punishment, man. Yeah, go ahead.
That is Amos 3 and 1.
Daniel 9 and 11.
I heard the word. I didn't know. It's like It's Amos 3:1. Hear this word that the Most High spoke against you, O children of Israel,
Yep.
against the whole family which I brought up
Yep.
from the land of Egypt,
Yep.
saying,
So the Lord speaking directly to us. He put a name on it. Israel. Go ahead.
you only have I known of all the families of the earth.
Yep.
Therefore, I will punish you for all your iniquities.
Yeah, He gonna punish us for our iniquities because He said, "You only have I known," because the Most High never revealed Himself to any other nation like He did to Israel, man. Okay. He changed, Abram's name to Abraham. Okay. Then He changed Jacob's name to Israel. Let you know His closeness, okay, with that lineage, man. Okay, and that lineage was given a standard, and we broke it, and we was punished, man. Go ahead, get that Daniel 9.
This is the book of Daniel, chapter 9, verse 11. Yea, all Israel have transgressed thy law,
Yep.
even by departing that they might not obey thy voice.
Go ahead.
Therefore the curse is poured upon us.
Yep. Go ahead.
And the oath that is written in the law of Moses, the servant of the Most High, because we have sinned against him.
So we went. We're gonna keep reading. So Daniel is understanding that the reason why Israel is suffering because of disobedience, man. And see, that's what this thing is about, man. Our people try to make this thing like it's something complicated. No, sin is the problem, man. Okay? Sin is the problem. And the main sin that our people have was serving other guys. The main sin our people had was what? Serving other guys, man. Okay? Which did what, man? Separate us from our power. Okay? But now we've returned in righteousness, man. That's the true repentance, is being obedient through faith, man. Go ahead.
Because when obedience always, in most cases, is followed up by punishment, man. If you go to work, you know what your job title is, and you know what you're supposed to be doing. If you're supposed to be packing boxes, and you go to work and you leaned up on the corner on another aisle talking to another worker, man, you're gonna get written up or possibly fired, man, because you're then being disorderly. You're not doing what you're supposed to do. If you living at your parents' home and you have chores, you're supposed to clean your room up, you're supposed to wash the dishes or whatever. They come home from work. If that job isn't done, there's a punishment behind it. You might not be able to watch TV, talk on the phone, etc., man. So how much more Yahweh Shem Shai? If we supposed to be worshiping Yahweh Shem Shai and we're veering off worshiping other gods, man, other idols, what other choice does he have besides punish us being his chosen people, man? Back in the book of Daniel, chapter 9, verse 12. And he hath confirmed his words, which he spake against us and against our judges that judged us, by bringing us a great evil. So like by bringing upon us a great evil. For under the whole heaven have not been done as have been done upon Jerusalem.
And that's the token. That's one of the main tokens of who we are, is the harshness of the slavery we serve, man. The captivity that we serve. We say under the whole heaven. Okay? No other nation has been punished like this, man. Okay? But that's the Lord's anger against our disobedience, man. All right? So, when you read the scriptures, you have to follow the narrative and link up to these people on the sign, man. That's right. That's why the 12 chart sign, makes so much sense. When I first seen it, I'm like, these are the outcasts. These, everybody through, It's in the scriptures. You have to be spiritual to see it, man. Like, brother be going into, man. Like spiritual Egypt, like you always go into. You gotta be spiritual to see this, man. Because it's a spiritual book for spiritual men. Go ahead.
So if I can say this, and it shows you the lack of spirituality people have, man, when it comes to Yahweh Shem Shai, because when you got the cops too, they shooting down Jake, you know what I'm saying? Shooting down you so-called Mexicans and everything. Getting beat down, you're getting the biggest sentences and everything. But then you got these the BLM and all them marching and stuff because of the so-called unjust that are happening to these people without even thinking or knowing that this goes back to the scriptures, man, according to the book of Deuteronomy 28, man. But they have no spiritual knowledge or no understanding to know that we're under the curses, man. These are the reasons why all these things are happening.
And it's Isaiah 24 and 5.
Right?
The earth also defiled on the inhabitants thereof.
The earth is defiled because why? You have a profane man that's running the earth. Esau Edom is outside of the temple. Okay? There's nothing within him, all right, that's righteous, man. Okay? Hey, even Yahweh Shah said he was a murderer and a liar from the beginning, man. Okay? There's nothing right within this man. You see, you people finna see it in a major way. Because see, Jake think it's over, man. Civil rights, that was a deception, man. Okay? Being included within the society, that was a deception, man. That hatred never went anywhere, man. And you people, and you Israelites gonna find out the hard way, man. Go ahead.
Because they have transgressed the law,
Yep.
changed the ordinance,
Yep.
and broken the everlasting covenant.
Yeah, so Esau Edom has gotten in possession of the earth and pretty much has went into the brain, okay, of the righteous way. You know? That's why he was even rejected as king. See, Esau is a big reject, man. Okay? Going back to Cain, going back to Esau when he cried about the blessing, you know? This man was rejected. And that's the energy he comes in as a reject, man. You know? Go ahead. Yep.
All right, verse 6. Therefore had the curse devoured the earth,
Yep.
and they that dwell therein are desolate.
Yeah, the curse has devoured the earth, man. Look at the condition of the earth, man. This place is cursed. Okay? The food is getting worse. Okay? Animals suffer. Relationships done. The trust, nobody trusts each other, man. This is a curse, man. This is a very low level, off, wicked way of living, man. Existing, man. You see? But why is it like this, man? Because of who's in power, Esau Edom. But see, now the Most High is grooming, all right, the rightful heirs of the earth, and that's Israel, beginning with the elect, beginning with Yahweh Shai. You know? Yeah, so that was it. Yeah, let's get that. Let's get Psalm 122 and 5. Let's get the Isaiah 1 and let's get Isaiah 1 and let's start like at 22. Go ahead.
This is the book of Psalms, chapter 122, verse 5.
Yeah.
For there are set thrones of judgment, the thrones of the house of David.
Yeah, the thrones of the house of David, there are set thrones of judgment. And see, what's happening is the house of David is being raised up for rulership, man. You know? And how about Shema Shai is fed up with the current rulers, man? And the condition that he had the earth in, man. You see? That's why we finna see judgment like never before. Okay? We're finna witness judgment like never before because it's finna be a big power shift in the earth, man. Okay? You got that, bro?
All right. It's Isaiah 1 and 22. That silver is become dross, that wine mixed with water.
No, start at 21. They speaking to Jake first. Go ahead.
And it's Isaiah 1 and 21.
Yep.
How does the faithful city become a harlot?
Yep.
It's full of judgment. It's like full of judgment, righteous logic in it.
Yeah, it's speaking of Israel. How the faithful city become a harlot? Okay, talking about spiritual harlot, going after other guys, man. You know, go ahead.
But now, murderers.
Yep, murderers. Go ahead.
That's sick. That silver is
Yep.
silver.
Now silver. Yep. Yep.
Silver has become dross.
Yep. Which is silver is a precious metal, and dross is something that's not valuable. So we went from having value as a nation, okay, to being like dross, unwanted. Go ahead.
That wine mixed with water.
Yep, man, and this is literal. Because if too many Jakes come into a neighborhood, the property value goes down. Okay? If too many Jakes start going to a restaurant, that restaurant might go out of business, man. Jake is very invaluable, man. I mean, what what's the word?
He's a liability.
Low. Jake is very low in value, man.
Like an eyesore.
Yeah, this man, our people bring down the value, man. Hey, you can call into a restaurant, and if you hear Keisha with that attitude, hell no, you know. Yeah, that's because the silver has became dross, man. Okay, go ahead.
I would say it like this. I went to the bank today. There's a fucking black woman at the Taylor. And normally I go get, I get my check, run my bank, judge that cash in the bank. I see her, that's all she don't give me hell.
Yep.
And I go tell her to catch my shit, and I go do it. That's how I felt though. As soon as I seen that bitch, normally I just get my shit right there and there, but as soon as I seen her, I had like, this bitch ain't shit. But the bitch did it though. But that's how I felt though.
Well, I can say it too. I feel where you coming from. I called AutoZone today to check on the part, even after the phone. I just hung that bitch up, man. I ain't want to bother, man.
I walk, goddamn.
Shit.
Go ahead.
All right, this Isaiah 1:23. The princes are rebellious,
Yep.
and the companions of thieves.
Yep. He said thy princes, which is the rulers, the leaders of our people, they're rebellious. You know, to our people that's in the world, to even those that know that they're Israelites. Because we're seeing a rebellion, man. When you see what Jake is doing, with all these crazy ass doctrine, with all these crazy ass gimmicks, Jake is being rebellious, man. And it said a companion of thieves, man. All right? Jake is pushing the Edomite, because at the end of the day, you're either pushing the energy of Yahweh or the energy of the beast. You can't do both. Okay? And this is what we're seeing Jake doing, pushing beast-like energy, man. And a lot of you Israelites finna get swallowed up with all these gimmicks, man. Okay? But you see our people, the leaders, have become companions of thieves, man, because they want their life, man. Okay? They want the perks of Rome. Go ahead.
They want that little gifts and follow after rewards.
Hey, everyone that love gifts and follow after rewards. That's why you got Jake. Got music videos talking about what? A car. They love rewards. Who is it talking about? Okay? Go ahead.
They judge not the fatherless, neither do the cause of the widow come unto thee.
Yeah, the fatherless and the widow is speaking of the elect. Now, you look at a situation between someone that's fatherless and that's a widow, they are in a very vulnerable situation because they have no breadwinner. The strength of their house, which is the man, which is the woman's husband and the son's father, okay, is gone. Their strength is gone. Because in the ancient world, if you was father or was like, it ain't like the day where people on their second and third, fourth marriage. Sometimes, if you done dealt with a man, that was it. No other man would take you in. So that means you and your child really had to kind of fend for yourself. That's why you had these different systems set up by the elders to take care of the widows and the fatherless, man. You've seen that in the book of Acts. Brother, get that in chapter 6, verse 1. I think that account going to that.
And it goes into the law.
Yep.
You're not supposed to rid your harvest every single crop because of the fatherless, the widows, the homeless.
Got that Acts.
This book of Acts 6:1.
Oh, yeah.
In those days, when the number of the disciples were multiplied, there arose a murmuring of the Grecians against the Hebrews, because their widows were neglected in the daily administration.
Their widows were neglecting the daily administration, which means serving the food or serving the resources, man. Why? Because if you are a widow or fatherless, you are vulnerable. There has to be a system set in place to take care of you, man. And if that system don't take care of you, you're done.
Hey, going back to Social Security. It's like that was like our Social Security back then, because the widow could have been a woman whose husband died. She was about 60. She didn't have to, so that was like our Social Security system.
Hey, this is Deuteronomy 24 and verse 19. When you cut down your harvest in your field and have forgot a sheaf in the field, you shall not go again to fetch it. It shall be for the stranger, for the fatherless, and for the widow, that the Lord Yahweh, your power, may bless you in all the work of your hands.
So that was that system, all right, that the poem was talking about, man. It was set up to take care okay, if those they had lost their breadwinner, man. You know?
Verse 20. When you beat your olive tree, you shall not go over the boughs again. It shall be for the stranger, for the fatherless, and for the widow.
Yep. So after you do your harvest, man, you will use some out. You know, and it was already set up with the fatherless, widows, okay, the poor would be able to just come through and eat, man.
When you gather, verse 21, when you gather the grapes of your vineyard, you shall not glean it afterward.
Yep.
It shall be for the stranger, for the fatherless, and for the widow.
Yep. Hey, because you have to think like Mosai, he made sure that they at least had the bare minimum, you know, the food, and then the grapes you make wine. So yeah, so you had, you know, especially if you're struggling, you want a little wine, you know.
Yep.
So Yahweh Shemal Shah had that system set up. But see, going back to Isaiah, the first chapter, it says what? The princes are companions of thieves. They love gifts. They think not about the fatherless and widow, which is Israel, which is the most vulnerable nation in the earth. Okay? Because we were like a woman that didn't have a husband, and we were like children that didn't have a father, man. Okay?
You said something about a gift, right?
Yeah.
Ecclesiastes 7:7. Surely oppression make a wise man mad, and a gift destroy the heart.
Yeah, and the gift destroy your mind. And that's why you see these guys waxing worse and worse. Because these guys are getting gifts, man. Okay? They do what they do for reward. Okay? These are men in the world who have found their niche. They masked it with the truth. Okay? And they own. Okay? Just another hustle, man. Okay? They are nothing from any other YouTube personality, man. Okay? They got fringes on, go ahead.
We should go into the word poison from etymological line. It goes into, you go to the word gift from the etymological line, it goes into poison. So you see how 2/3 of our people, they take their poison from that serpent. Esau, man. And then you know he's going to bite you right back, man. That's why the scriptures say how people, they're going to find out within these last days, we have made a covenant with death. You know?
And that's why the scripture states in Ecclesiastes 12 and 13, don't pity a charmer that get bit by a snake. Because in order to be a charmer, you have to have a relationship with the snake. So you know the tendencies and the personality of a snake, it always turns on its owner.
Right. And I can say this, man, Esau has really used, you know what I'm saying, Jake to destroy Jake, man, because like, you know, you got these so-called Israelite leaders who done took the bag, you know what I'm saying, and not walking in the ways of righteousness the way they're supposed to. You know, you got these so-called preachers of these churches done took the 501c3 charter and are not speaking the truth unto their congregation, man. And then, you know, and it even trickles down to the Israelite woman. They have gave them the gifts of housing where, you know, they got what, Section 8, you know, so WIC, food stamps, all that, man. You know, but the main way they have access to that is getting away from the so-called black man. You know, so Esau has weaponized, you know what I'm saying, gifts against the Lord's people, man.
You know, Esau give you incentive for being rebellious.
Yeah.
You know? Yeah, bro. Because remember, Israel likened unto what? The widow and fatherless, man. But see, we're being drawn back to our power. Okay? That's why we're going to reap the benefits, all right? Because when you're a woman, you're married to someone of status, you reap the benefits of the status of your husband. Okay? Well, we're going to be drawn back to Yahweh Shemal Shah, and we're going to reap the benefits of being drawn to our power.
That's right.
You know? Go ahead.
This is the book of Isaiah, chapter 54, starting in verse 4.
Yep.
Fear not, for thou shalt not be ashamed, neither be thou confounded, for thou shalt not be put to shame. For thou shalt forget the shame of thy youth, and shalt not remember the reproach of thy widowhood anymore.
The reproach of thy widowhood anymore. Okay? Because it was a shame, in the ancient world, it was a shame for a woman to be put away, man. You know? She would have to live with that. Alright? That was something that would be hanging over her head. She was put away. You know? And we was put away. That transatlantic, okay, slave trade, that was us being put out the house, man. All right? Most High called us an Uber, man. Got us the hell away from there, man. You know? Go ahead.
It's the book of Baruch, chapter 4, and verse 12.
Yep.
I started 11. It said, with joy did I nourish them, but sent them away with weeping and mourning.
Yep.
Let no man rejoice over me, a
Yep.
widow,
Yep.
and forsaken of many, who for the sins of my children am left desolate, because they departed from the law of the Most High.
So you see the similitude. In this one, he's referring to the people as a woman, as his wife. But then in that one, that's the land, you know, being likened unto our mother, and we was her children. Okay? So the Most High is the husband, the land being the mother which nurtured us, and we was the children, but we were sent away. So Israel, okay, is the fatherless and the widows of the earth, man. Okay, go ahead.
This is the book of Jeremiah, chapter 6, verse 2. I have likened the daughter of Zion to a comely and delicate woman.
A comely and delicate woman. So Israel, our people, is what, man? We don't have our father, you know, which makes us fatherless. All right, we don't have the land, which is our mother that nourishes us, man. You see? And going back to, I think you all bring that up about Annie.
Yep.
No, orphans, man. Okay, go ahead.
Revelation 21:2.
Yep.
And I, John, saw the holy city, New Jerusalem, coming down from the Most High out of heaven,
Yep.
prepared as a bride adorned for her husband.
Yeah, that's because you know how the scriptures said what? Come up and enter into my chambers. You see? Hey, come up and enter into my chambers. Because that's what the bride would do, be in the chambers. And then she would be presented. She would come out those chambers, man. And that's how it's going to be, man. We're going to come out them chambers decked out. You see that?
That's the marriage.
Yep.
Because once, you know, Lord will, we the hopeful elect, we're beamed up. That's what we're joined to Yahweh Shah.
Yep.
You know, in the era. So, what does marriage mean? To be joined.
Yep.
So it makes sense. Once we join, we go directly into the spiritual bed chambers, man.
Yep. Hey,
Which are the children.
Hey, like you said, man, because that's pretty much, that's why we're gonna be likened up to virgins, and we're going to be what? Penetrated by the law. Okay? And then what? Yahweh Shah is going to present his bride to the earth, man. The nation of Israel, man.
Like this good on what you saying right quick. Hey, you know, when you watch those marriages, like Goodfellas,
Yeah.
when she get married, what happened? You receive all types of gifts.
Yep.
Now, doesn't it say like in Isaiah 60, Revelation 21, the gate should be open continually? You know, when we get joined back to our husband, all right, we become an official as his wife, we're going to receive gifts from the world, man. Showing you this bit of what y'all said is a marriage. You know?
Jump down to verse 9, bro. And there came unto me one of the seven angels, which had the seven vials full of the seven last plagues, and talked with me, saying, come here, I will show you the bride, the Lamb's wife.
The Lamb's wife, man. And we're going to receive the perks. Because these women want high value men for what? A lifestyle. Okay? They want high value men for a lifestyle. So imagine your house shot, the highest value you can get, and the lifestyle is gonna come with it. And Yahweh Shah will always say, look, you know, I come to give you life more abundantly. You see? You know, a woman will want a husband, you know, of high value so she can have abundance. Okay? Well, we're going to receive abundance from Yahweh Shah. You know?
Tobit chapter 13, verse 16.
Yep.
For Jerusalem shall be built up with sapphires and emeralds and precious stones.
Yep.
Thy wall and towers and battlements with pure gold.
And that's going to be literal, man. Okay?
You see that?
It's going to be literal, man.
That's that confirmation.
Come on, man.
And they did it 3 times.
One more for the room.
Verse 17. Done. And the streets of Jerusalem shall be paved with beryl and with carbuncle and stones of Ophir.
And you gotta look at like when you really into the stones, man. You can't imagine. You know, it's hard to imagine whole palaces built out of precious stone, man. You know, and that's why it's gonna be such a rigorous captivity, man. Do you know what type of manpower it's gonna take to build our infrastructure with these precious stones, man? See, Esau don't understand. Like, see, Esau finna break all our slavery records, man. Okay. But what Daniel said under the heaven has not been done, what has been done to Jerusalem. See, you can break all that up, man. Okay? The recorded history of Esau gonna surpass what we got, man, because, hey, that's a lot of manual labor, man, because the stones got to be mined, then they got to be polished, then they got to be shaped, then they got to be set in place, okay? And that's what's coming. And you know Issachar gonna be on Esau ass. You know Issachar gonna be on Esau ass, man. Okay? Go ahead.
I'm sorry. All right, Tobit 13 and 18. And all her streets shall say hallelujah, and they shall praise him, saying, Blessed be Yahweh which exalted it forever.
Yep, go ahead.
I'm sorry, blessed be Yahweh which extolled it forever.
Go ahead.
And that was it on that.
I think it was go up a little bit. You said something about the gifts. I want to say.
And the Most High is gonna make a man more precious than fine gold in that day, man. And because before the kingdom reigns in, the departed, right? A division is gonna take place here on planet Earth.
Yep.
And the Most High is gonna set a standard between the common man and the chosen man.
Yep.
And because it's easy for people to say I'm high value because they look at their bank account,
Yep.
or they say I'm high value based upon the material things they have, but they have no spiritual intellect. So where is the true value? The true value is being connected to your power.
That's right.
Being connected to the power source, which is the Most High. But the majority of individuals who call themselves high value, they have no spiritual value. So which one weighs the more in the scale of balance, man?
Yep. And because just to prove your point, expound on your point, because like you said, true value is being connected to our power. Because these men of high value now, your bank account is based on how another man feel that morning. At least can crash this bitch. So your bank account is based on how another nigga feel. Okay? But if we connected to a higher power, Esau has no say-so in that. Okay? He can put out a decree saying you can't eat. But then if our power say we gonna eat, we gonna eat. You see?
And he said it.
So that's gonna be like you know what I'm saying? That's the true value, man.
Second Ezra, I'm sorry,
Going back to the wedding on how, you know, when the bride comes down, just like in Goodfellas, and they receiving all them gifts, man. Go ahead.
Tobit 13 and 11. Many nations shall come from far to the name of Yahweh power with gifts in their hands, even gifts to the King of heaven.
Woo.
All generations shall praise thee with great joy.
Come on, man.
Yeah.
You gonna come down and get them gifts, man.
Mhm.
Okay? Slaves, resources, man.
Real gifts.
Yeah, real gifts, man. You know, such thing as a bank account, man. You're just gonna have possessions that's gonna keep reproducing itself. Your slaves gonna reproduce themselves. Your livestock gonna reproduce itself. Your orphans gonna grow continually, man.
But like you said, brother, a while back, the Most High's flip game is crazy.
Crazy.
You know, one bull,
Yep.
so many heifers.
Yep.
You know, one alpha Edomite, one buck Edomite,
Yep.
give him so many little females.
Yep.
You know, you should say something.
No, I was just saying it's 100-fold. It's 100-fold.
And the Most High, he numbered Israel as what? Innumerable. And that proves that he's in that spirit of multiplication, right? He told Esau to go measure, you know what I'm saying, count the stars in heaven, measure the sand, the depths of the sea, how much sand is out there on the shore. The Heavenly Father is all about abundance when it comes to existing itself, but he's all about a small group of number when it comes to the selected people for himself.
Like you were talking about the Lord's flip game, you think about the male factor on the right hand side, Yahweh Shai. No, he was doing wrong all throughout that captivity, man. But look when he repented, Yahweh Shai gave him paradise, man. Everlasting. That's a hell of a flip game.
Yeah, he promised our forefather Abraham a heritage of being able to scale up. You know, start with one son. That son was going to multiply. That son was going to multiply. That son was going to multiply. And that's why he ultimately became the father. Yeah, from the father of many to the father of nations, man. You know, and because he said, well, I will make thy seed, right, as the sands of the sea. And he told him, he said to be fruitful. And what's the word y'all using? And multiply.
And you think about servant giving a prophet a cup of water. You know what I'm saying? They're going to get the reward of a prophet, man.
Yeah.
That's a hell of a flip.
That's a hell of a flip.
Since we talking about flipping, go ahead. Hey, this is Matthew 19 and 29. And everyone that has forsaken houses, or brethren, or sisters, or father, or mother, or wife, or children, or lands for my name's sake, shall receive 100-fold, and shall inherit everlasting life.
Yeah, so our Shah was always given that incentive. It says inherit everlasting life. Man. You know, you can't get that here. These bodies are corruptible and they're getting weaker by generation, man. And then the things that we lose, man, you might go to, you know, you might have to, you gonna lose a house sitting on 2 acres, all right, to be a ruler over 2 countries, man. You see? It's like, it's gonna be a crazy flip game, man.
That's right.
Then our Shah comes, man.
Now,
Like if we were doing business, sorry, bro. If we were doing business together, I said, man, I can promise you $200,000. You said, but it's gonna cost you $20,000 up front. Would you give away that 20 to make the 200?
Yep.
You know, that flip,
Yep.
that multiply, man.
Yep.
hey, that goes into the parable. When the oh man, how that parable goes? How this guy sold his land for, you know what I'm talking about?
In the parable,
Yeah.
yeah, he found the treasure. He sold everything
Right.
off that field.
Right, right. Hey, now for 100-fold, according to the Greek. Yeah, right. Yeah, right. Yeah, right. But it's
Like that.
hey, but according to the outline of biblical usage, it means 100-fold, 100 times as much. Now, when you look up that term times, it goes into what? It's a multiply.
Yep.
Since we're talking about multiplication,
Sometimes
it's all about your flip game.
And that's why people, you know, today they all about to get rich quick scheme, but there's no other. Okay, the promise is the biggest get rich scheme you can think of. You know,
Ain't that so?
the promise, man. You know,
At this Matthew 6:19, they not treasure on earth
yep,
where moth and rust do corrupt.
yep. Because we're not in the time to be thinking about legacy mind in this situation. Now, there's nothing wrong, you know, with bettering your current situation, you know, but thinking legacy minded here, this is all short term, man. Okay?
We're not building no kingdom inside of Esau's kingdom.
Nah, that ain't gonna happen.
Hey, because when you have that mindset, the scripture says what? Where a man's treasure is, there shall his heart be also. So if you holding on to something for dear life, which is, that's a automatic lost battle right there.
And Jake seen the results of trying to build something inside of Esau's kingdom, man. Tulsa, Oklahoma. Prime example. You know, he ain't going, man. Rosewood, and it's many others.
Like Wall Street.
There it is, man.
Durham, North Carolina, underwater, under towns that are now under lakes.
Right.
Come on, man. Georgia, come
Even,
on, man.
even current day gentrification.
No.
You know, Esau find a way to push you niggas to the outskirts.
Man, they come. They constantly building districts, man. Like I'm talking local now. You know, you go what Flowwood, Madison. They could move some trees up the way real quick and construct a district like it's nothing. A hotel like it's nothing. Jake neighborhood, you gotta be a master driver to get around the potholes, abandoned houses, trees growing all in the houses. You know?
And you know what's crazy? Because I was thinking about this coming up the trace. Now, you can't kill a deer on the trace. And then now at the reservoir, you know what I'm saying? Basically, you have to have a license. And if you don't have a license, they charge you for not having that license. And let's say if you have a limit of fish you can catch, but they're gonna charge extra for that. But meanwhile, Jake get gunned down in the hood, ain't no protection, ain't no limitations, which also proves that we are the people that the Bible speaks of with these curses being exercised on. I mean, you can protect the deer and animals, but you can't protect Jake though.
And if I can say this, the deer you speaking of and the fish you speaking of, if Jay go, let's say Jay go to a lake, man, and catch some brim, some bass, things of that nature, you can't sell them. You can't just go out and set up your own little, you know what I'm saying, market and sell them to the public. That's a no-no. You're gonna get a fine for that.
And when it comes like deer and stuff, yeah, you can take it to a processing plant who's owned by who? Esau. But if you process your own deer and start trying to sell it, they find out, hey, you finna get a hell of a fine,
Well, you
man.
can't even hunt on your own land.
Without a license. Yeah.
It ain't your land.
It ain't just a
Exactly.
land.
You leasing that to that.
Lease.
But then they'll make you pay taxes though.
Right.
They said where neither mouth do they said where mouth and rub do corrupt, and where thieves break do and steal, verse 20. But lay up yourself treasures in heaven, and where neither mouth nor rubs do corrupt, and where thieves do not break through nor steal.
So I always ready.
And it's Matthew 6:20. But lay up yourself treasures in heaven,
Yep.
and where neither mouth nor rust do corrupt,
Yep.
and where thieves do not break through nor steal.
We're thinking past to see we're making an investment in something that's beyond this society. Man. You know, everyone in this society is investing within this society. You know, that's where their mind stops. But see, we look past this place, man. We look beyond what we see because we believe in what's to come.
You looking beyond Jordan.
Yeah, beyond Jordan, man. You know, that's the mind frame that we're in. So what do we do? We're constantly investing in spiritual things, man. When you're teaching your people, you're investing in your nation. Okay, you're putting resources back in your nation. Understanding the Bible is the biggest resource that a nation can have, man.
You know what? You can also associate it with the field of carpentry.
Yep.
Because Apostle Gabar broke that down. He said any carpenter has to be able to see the house before he builds it.
Yep.
You know, so we actually see the kingdom through the spirit before we are actually saved. You know what I'm saying, Lord?
You had something else. Yeah, get what you had.
All right, this is the book of 1 Corinthians, chapter 2, verse 9. But as it is written, I have not seen, nor ear heard, neither have entered into the heart of man the things that the Most High have prepared for them that love him.
Yeah, because Yahweh Shema Shai is the artist and he's far out. You know? And the way that he's finna restructure the earth, because the scripture say he's gonna beautify the place of his feet. See, there's a paradise coming, you know, that we can't even fathom. And then, like, the way that the scripture describe how infrastructure gonna be, you know, you can't even close your eyes and imagine those things, man. We're gonna have to be there. Especially Jake, because we limited, we don't get to travel like that. You know, most you see is concrete buildings. You know, you've probably been to Florida a couple times, man. You know, a few brothers, you know, beyond, but hell, for the most part, you know, we're not in all these exotic places on a frequent basis, man.
Sometimes now when we do here, we search it. You know,
Yeah,
so on
yeah.
YouTube,
Yeah.
watch a video like Italy.
Yeah, a drone. Yeah.
We spend more time there.
You talking like nigga feel like it is. Yeah.
Hey, but you know what's crazy? Hey, can you read that first part again?
Book of 1 Corinthians, chapter 2, verse 9. But as it is written, I have not seen, nor ear heard, neither have entered into the heart of man.
You know how heavy that is because basically we see the kingdom, but we don't know how it would actually look. And what proved the point when Apostle Paul was stoned, right? He appeared in where? In the third heaven. And it was so beautiful, he couldn't even put it in words.
Yeah.
So he actually saw it. Now think about this. We thinking about something that we know is going to be glorified, beautiful, you know, but here you had Apostle Paul that actually saw the third heaven, the spiritual world, but he couldn't even put it in a complete sentence or try to describe it.
Right,
That's
right.
heavy,
They said
man.
it'd be unlawful.
Exactly.
It'd be bearing false witness.
Let me do a quick one. About that. This Hebrews 11:1. Now faith is the substance of things hoped for, and the evidence of things are not seen.
And that's being guided by the Spirit. Read that again, bro.
And it's Hebrews 1:11. Now Hebrews 11:1. For faith is a substance of things hoped for and the evidence of things not seen.
Right, so we went to our doctor, you know, we want to be classified in the spirit as what? Being spiritual foresight. Seeing things from afar off, man. And the reason why we're able to make these connections and associations is based on the Holy Spirit, man. Which made perfect sense when Apostle Paul stated that a person that participates in carpentry actually has to see the product before he begins to build, such as Noah. You know, such as what we're doing right now.
Let me just make a point. You know the artist Bob Ross. I watched part of his documentary. Bob Ross, what it was, he was painting those pictures in his mind before he touched the canvas. So by the time he actually put his hand on that canvas, he was just scrolling through the canvas because he was already constructing the image in his mind.
Right.
So the image is already there. He was painting it in his mind first. Then, so that's why he was able to do a 20-minute scenery.
Right.
It was already in his mind.
The blueprint starts in your mind.
The blueprint starts in your mind.
You know?
Hey, this Philippians 2 and 12. And it says, wherefore, my beloved, as ye have always obeyed, not as in my presence only, but now much more in my absence.
Right.
Work out your own salvation with fear and
Hey,
trembling.
work out your own salvation. I think for work out in the Greek, it means your accomplishments. Elder Z cannot save me. Shakat, Kahan Shaquat cannot save me. Elder B cannot save me. Priest Yash cannot save me. Boy Tazwa, he cannot save me. Basically, I have to work out my own salvation by basically doing the will of the Most High to the best of my ability, man.
Right.
Point blank period.
Linking up with 2nd Ezra, the first chapter, it goes into whose little ones they rejoice in my gladness. We don't see Yahweh shine in our bodily eyes, but we see him through the spirit.
Right.
You know?
And any Hall of Famer, right? Once that jersey goes up, it's your jersey. Yasha's jersey is not going to go over mine. I'm the Hall of Famer. But if he puts in the work, his jersey don't go up. Meaning basically, you cannot get your jersey up there if you don't put in the work. Work out your own salvation, man. Your own salvation.
When you do that, you gotta endure. You gotta keep pushing. You can't stop, man.
Like Noah, he talked for what, 120 years?
Right.
So that shows you through the spirit, he had that vision that he knew what he had to do. Like everybody didn't know about rain at that time.
Right.
So he had that vision, man. So that's what we're doing through the spirit. We see that rain coming, but 2/3 of our people, they do not know the judgment of Yahweh Hashem shot.
And the vision was so clear. The vision was so clear. They said Noah moved with fear.
That's the spirit. That's what I
Okay.
Gun.
Back on you, brother.
2nd Ezra 1 and 37. I take to witness the grace of the people to come, whose little ones rejoice in gladness. And though they have not seen me with bodily eyes, yet in spirit they believe the thing that I say.
This that generation of believers, man. You know, they haven't seen Yahweh Shah, but yet believe. You know, because you had niggas that seen Yahweh Shah still didn't believe. Matter of fact, get that St. John 10:22. You see, that lets you know it's a spiritual connection between the elect and Yahweh Shah, man. Okay? Whenever there's a discrepancy about Yahweh Shah, who's defending Yahweh Shah, man? Okay? Everybody, you know, these big chiefs and generals and bishops, but then when it comes to defending Yahweh Shah, who's on the front line, man? Because it's a spiritual connection.
I'm gonna cut you off, bro, but it makes sense, man, because a point Zaquan Wamba brought out. It's these wicked Pharisees and Sadducees coming back to their lot.
Yep.
Now RTR basically denying Yahushua. Saying chapter Isaiah 53rd chapter, that's not talking about Yahushua now.
What?
Yahushua is bugging these niggas out.
Makes it worse and worse.
Exactly.
He revealing it.
Exactly,
This is
bro.
the time where Yahweh Shah is doing an expose on these niggas, man.
Right.
And you niggas that still, because you got Israelites that's waiting on ITR to come back. If they did a video tonight, it'd be some Israelites, man. We been waiting on y'all.
This what platform they use?
What
The
they
Clubhouse.
Oh, what?
They on the Clubhouse, the whacking them.
Oh, what?
Yeah.
No, Whack 100?
Well, no, they was, but the platform whack we use.
Okay.
That Clubhouse.
Oh, man. What the heck, bro? St. John 10 and 22. Yeah, go ahead. Hey, because the priest has brought out how there's gonna be a generation of Israelites that's gonna believe they haven't seen Yahweh Shah with bodily eyes, man. You know, showing you that faith is a gift, like the scripture says. The Most High give you faith. That's a gift, man, and you don't need. Cause like it's to the point now we ain't got to see no more chairs and nothing. We know what it is, man. Okay,
Fully persuaded.
fully persuaded, man. We locked in, man. Ready to put it all on the line.
Hey, because the only way our mind can change or turn back is if the Most High took His spirit from us. That's the only thing that can evolve these fully persuaded and convinced minds, man.
That's right. And that's the only thing we fear.
That's right.
So it's better to be dead than for the Most High to strip His Holy Spirit from you, man. You better off in the spiritual world, man.
Yep. Let's say better. No, but food. It's better if we hang a millstone around.
Yeah.
Drown in the depth of the sea.
This John 10 and 22. And it was in Jerusalem, the feast of dedication.
Yep.
And it was winter.
Yep.
And how shall I walk in the temple, the silent porch.
Go ahead.
Verse 24.
Yep.
Then came the Jews round about him and said to him, how long doest thou make us to doubt?
Yep.
If thou beat the Mashiach, tell us plainly.
So he said, here come the Jews round about him. That means they surrounded him, man. And you know them niggas was mad, man. They said, if you be the anointed, all right, how long you make us doubt? Tell us plainly. Okay? But hell, he was fulfilling everything. Okay, and Yahushua gonna go into it, man. Go ahead.
Verse 25.
Yep.
Yahushua answered them, I told you, and you believe not.
I told you. How you want me to say it? You know, go ahead.
The more the soul time.
Go ahead.
The works that I do is in my Father's name.
The works that I do, healing the blind, multiplying the bread and the fish, walking on water, calming the storms. Okay? What you niggas want to see? What the hell can I tell you? Okay? So Yahushua was like, look, I told you plainly. If you don't believe me, at least believe the works.
At least.
Go ahead.
They bear witness of me.
They bear witness of me. Go ahead.
Verse 26. But ye believe not.
Why not? Go
Because
ahead.
ye are not of my sheep.
Ye are not of my sheep. That's Yahushua told them plain. They said, tell us plain. And he said, well, look, you don't believe because you're not of the sheep. Yahushua going hard on them niggas, man. I didn't want to just kill Yahushua because he was saying a few sentences. Yahushua was cutting them niggas, man. Going hard on them niggas, man. Okay? Then they considered him an unlearned man. And these men was brought up in the law. And he's cutting them with that law. Okay? And their unbelief, go ahead.
As I said to you, verse 27.
Yep.
My sheep hear my voice.
Yep.
And I know them.
Yep.
And they follow me.
Yeah, and that's why we don't lose no sleep about these big gatherings, okay, of reprobates, man. You know? We don't lose no sleep about these guys because the elect don't hear the voice of Yahushua, man.
That's right.
The elect ain't gonna follow no clowns, man. You know? And that's why even you have this expose, if there's the elect amongst in their madness, they're gonna be sifted out, man. You know?
As you made a point how like Yahushua is able to do the miracles for people to believe too, right? And this is John 21:25. And there are also many other things which Yahushua did. Hey, this is John 21:25. And there are also many other things which Yahushua did, the which, if they should be written, every one regarding the miracles, right? I suppose that even the world itself could not contain the books that should be written.
So, if Yahushua did that much, okay, what else did he tell them guys, man? And see, the elect is in a different spirit.
Yeah.
Hey, because even Peter, the reason why he cut that servant ear off, because he knew Yahushua could take on the whole Roman Empire.
Right.
He gotta think, like, it wasn't no secret about what Rome would do to you for a treason.
Right.
Okay? You want no secret? Rome was the beast, the fourth beast, with teeth of iron, you know, subduing many.
And the same thing with Judas.
Yeah.
Judas saw that power. Now it was written for him to be the son of perdition, but he also saw that power Yahushua made. I mean, was able what he was actually capable of. See, Judas was a Zillite. So basically, he knew that if he forced Yahushua's hand, then what would happen? Yahushua would take them down. But because he was the son of perdition, they had to play out the way the Most High wanted it to play out.
Yep. So the elect, you know, going back to it, expound on the brother Port. Peter cut that man ear off, man, because he knew shit. He's trying to get busy. You know?
Let me ask you a question. Was that man a J?
The servant, yeah. Had to be.
Yeah,
Yeah,
how
'cause
you
the
know?
ear was
Yahushua healed him.
That's how you know.
Yep.
That's how you know.
So the elect got a whole different mind frame from the nun, and that's why you see clashing. It's two different mindsets.
Yeah.
Okay? Just like you see something simple as someone arguing about a mask. You've been in a lot of fighting about masks in these stores. Well, what's the argument about? It's a mindset. Because the mask don't do nothing. You see? It's two mindsets that's clashing. Some people enchanted by the madness of Esau, and then you got people that are woke to, you know, to some degree about the wickedness of the government. So those two mindsets are clashing. And that's how it is with the elect and the non-elect, man. We see things completely different, man. Okay? Go ahead.
It's Romans 11:7. What then Israel have not obtained, which he's seeking for, but the election have obtained it, and the rest were blinded.
Yeah, and the rest were blinded. And there's those that the Lord, okay, is not dealing with at this time, man. Because there's a way larger portion of Israelites that's going to die to be delivered. Okay? That's what, I think that's 688.
And that's crazy. Like, they saw Yahushua doing all those miracles. They were still trying to say he was tapping into, you know, the spirit of Beelzebub. You know? Like, what more can I do for you?
It's like a nigga reaching. You know how you see these niggas reaching now. Because see, that's another thing. Jake hate to see their own be great.
Yeah.
You know? But see, that's why we coming to injure John the Baptist. John the Baptist let you know from the door, look, this one's just going to come after me. I ain't even worried to untie his shoes, man. You know?
And that's a good mindset to elect, because if you praise great men, then pretty soon down the line you're gonna get praised, man.
Yep.
It's all about Yahushua, here in his kingdom, man.
You know? And Yahushua let you know that John the Baptist was a made man, all right, when he said, there's no greater prophet. Hey, he let you know that's gonna be a made man in the kingdom, man.
Even Yahushua would wash the feet of his disciples, man.
Yeah.
This is the book of 2nd Ezra, chapter 8, verse 1. And he answered me, saying, the Most High have made this world for many, but the world to come for few.
Yeah, the world to come for few. You see? And this is beginning with the elect, man. See, Yahweh Shema Shah, he always starts the empire with something small, man. You know? Jacob was one man, had 12 sons, and by the time he went to Egypt, they were over 70 souls. By the time they came out of Egypt, you know, there was a nation, man. Okay? So it's nothing to you how about Shema Shah to build an empire out of small number. See? Like 12 o'clock, right?
Verse 2. I will tell thee a similitude, Ezra, as when thou askest the earth, it shall say unto thee, that it giveth much more, whereof earthen vessels are made, but little dust that gold cometh.
Yeah, so it's giving you the proportion. Because they didn't say, like Bun said earlier, how the Israelite man is going to be locking into the precious gold of the old first. You see, we're becoming valuable. Because as a man, you add value to yourself over time. You see, the longer you're in your field, the more value you have. Okay? So as we're in this ministry, we're becoming more and more valuable and more precious, man. Because there's very few men that have your skill set. That's why you have high earning jobs. Why? Because very few men have their skill set.
No seniority.
When you was getting to a point, I think that was you talking about it. In certain jobs, they gotta call not only a man in that position, but a particular man in that position.
Yep.
Because some of those positions, it takes 20 years. You know, so it's like not only do you get a man in that position, these particular men have been in the same field for 20, 30 years, so they have high value.
Yep.
So you can't, it's certain things that's been on my mind, I can't Google it. You only gotta wait till Elder Apostle Hart bring it out.
Yep.
Well, Elder Apostle Gabar bring it out.
Yeah.
The Holy Spirit actually revealed that to them.
Right.
Like even the 12 tribes breakdown, you can't Google that. So it's certain men on this earth, they're bigger than Google. You know, they're bigger than the search engine.
Write that down.
Yeah, come on, what we'll do, brother.
Bigger than Google.
It's
man.
bigger than Google, man. It's like you said, and we're becoming more valuable because these men have been made 30 years.
Right.
You know, we talk about made men. The Most High, Most High has been forging men for 30 years in this truth, 30 plus years. Even men 5 years, 10 years, 15 years. So you can't wake up and replace that.
That's right. They think about it through the spirit like they lit. They're not gonna hit their wall.
Nope.
You know what I'm saying? Compared to a woman, this is right. You know, you should look at the apostles for example. It's like, look how vibrant they are in the spirit, man. And look at your regular Jake, like 60 years old, man.
And look at your regular Jake 30.
Look at your
You got brothers that came into the truth 17, 18, 19, that are like 30. But I just see some cats I went to school with. I seen them, I'm like, God damn, you know? And it's truth will keep you alive, man. You know?
When I used to be a butcher, man, all them older guys that have been doing this shit for like 15, 20, 30 years, they called them journeymen. Now, I don't know if this is what it meant, but, you know, a person who journeys a lot, they see a lot of things in between, and they learn a lot as they go on their journeys, man. You know what I'm saying? And those journeys that the apostles done went on, been what, for decades, man, 30 plus years. They have seen a lot, they have learned a lot, and the Lord has revealed a lot to them,
And
man.
you can't pull that from a Tim Aegis. Those journeymen, you can't pull that from fresh out of college.
No.
Those men that been on those same paths for 20, 30 years, you can't pull that out of trade school, man.
Straight experience.
You know, straight experience, man, because when it comes to experience, I guarantee you that masters in problem solving. I guarantee you that these journeymen are masters at problem solving, man.
Yeah.
Those problems that you weren't expecting to run into,
Right.
they're masters at solving those problems, man. You know? Same thing with the apostles, man. Things you struggle with, they can see through it. It's not even like that.
Back in the book of 2nd Ezra, chapter 8, starting verse 2 again. I will tell thee a similitude, Ezra, as when thou askest the earth, it shall say unto thee that it giveth much mold, wherefore earthen vessels are made, but little dust that gold cometh of, even so it is the course of this present world.
You have the course of this present world. See, you're going on the course where the Most High is what he say, I have chosen thee. I have tried thee like silver is tried. I have chosen thee in the furnace of affliction, of suffering. So, because even that gold is made under pressure, fire. You see? That's how gold is made. Pressure and fire.
We'll give you all the impurities.
Yeah. That's why you can't replace it, because it takes a process and a period to make it. That's why it's valuable. Okay? You got a factory that can make styrofoam cups, plates. Easily. Yeah, easily. But gold is a process to it. You know? Even you go into the cars that Rolls Royce, those are handmade.
9 months.
Yeah, even with clothes, the clothes that are handmade. Why it's so valuable? Because they're handcrafted, they're authentic.
I want to say that's why they call it designer.
Yep.
No, it's design.
Yep.
The scripture speak on embroideries.
Yep.
See, real designer is embroideries. It's not flat. Like you can see, like the letters and the designs, you can see three-dimensional. You know, it's sewn in there, man, by human hands. And time makes value.
Jake was telling me at work that buckskin.
Yep.
They said buckskin is so high because you really gotta beat it out of the deer, you know. And you gotta wash it. You gotta beat it again, wash it. You gotta keep washing until you get that blood out of it, man. You know? So you don't just pay because the deer is rare. You pay for that. You're paying for that process. You know, that's what shoot the value of, because who's gonna keep doing that? You know?
Right.
So you paying for that process, man. You know? You got yours, bro?
This is Rock 10 and 25, 24. Great men and judges and
Potentates, which are rulers, some like a prince. Go ahead.
shall be honored.
Shall be honored.
Yet is there is none of them greater than the fear of the Most High.
Yet there is none greater than them that fear the Most High. Okay? We're more valuable than the Vladimir Putin, you know, than the LeBron James. We're much more valuable than them niggas, man. Okay? Because they're not being groomed by the Spirit to rule in righteousness, man. Okay? A righteous ruler is going to be very valuable in the times to come, because it's the whole earth going to benefit from it, man. Okay? The whole earth is going to benefit from the rulership, all right, of the government of Israel, man. Okay? Because after that 1,000 years, these other nations, they're going to get inheritance of certain lands, man. They're still going to be servants under us, just like now. Because after the kingdom is built, you know, now you just need slaves to what? Maintain it. Okay? The rigorous labor is to get it built. You see? Then after that, it's going to be a thing of maintenance. You know, you might have cupbearers that serve shifts. You see?
If I can just, it's bad. And that's one of the most accomplished feelings, is when you have a system going.
Yep.
Because, you know, let's say that's 70% of it.
Yep.
70% of it where it's self-sustaining.
Yep.
The 30% of it is keeping it going.
Yep.
You know, that's one of the most accomplished feelings, man.
Yep.
You know?
You know, you're doing something right too.
Yeah, because you got little projects on your own.
Yep.
Where, okay, not a plant growing by itself.
Yep.
A lot of fish tanks sustaining itself without a filter. But so it's little things you got to do.
Yep.
And that's the same thing with the kingdom, man. All we got to do is regulate now.
Yep.
You know?
Yep.
It's already molded.
It's already molded, man. So, and it's going to be, I believe it's going to be an accomplished feeling when the kingdom is, the system is going. You know? You had a switch. Hold up, bro.
Yeah, I'll get that Colossians 3 and 1.
Yep.
Lord came back. How you get to it?
It's Ecclesiastes 26, Ecclesiastes 25, starting verse 4. Oh, how comely a thing is judgment for gray hairs, and for ancient men to know counsel. Oh, how comely is the wisdom of old men, and understanding and counsel to men of honor. Much experience is the crown of old men, and the fear of Yahweh Bashim Yahushua is their glory.
You see, the experience can't be replaced, man. Okay? You can't replace real life experiences, man. That's why you got certain, you know, YouTube personalities that make them so unique. Is their experiences, man. Mm-hmm. You know, like that guy, Charleston White. You know, he got a unique perspective on everything, because he had a unique, you know, experience of life, man. Coming from a good home, you know, his uncle Nils was into the streets and shit, you know, him going to jail at a young age, him being in that generation, seeing, you know, some of the worst criminals. So he has a unique experience, you know, that he can speak on, which that's why people tune in, because where you gonna get that experience from? Where you gonna get that perspective? Like Jay-Z, where can you get that perspective from?
Right, you have to live it.
You know?
You gotta live it.
So young, but still playing with Barbie, man. You know, it's them perspectives that make it, you know, so valuable. It's I am one of one.
Right.
You know? And every Israelite man, you know, that's being groomed is gonna be one of one. It ain't gonna be nothing like, I ain't gonna be when I go to see El Zahab in his province, okay, it'll be like no other province. You know, then I go see a Tazawar in his province. It's gonna be a whole, you know, different realm, but we all gonna be the umbrella of righteousness, but each brother is gonna be one of one.
And at that time frame, you'll be made men.
Yeah.
Right? Because, hey, B, guess what? Antimon, you know, we looked up the definition made man, they replaced it. I can't even find it, so I had to screenshot it. But according to the Etimon, prior to us doing the video, it states, to be a made man, placed beyond the reach of want, assured of reward or success.
Hey,
It's no longer on there.
place beyond the need of want.
Yeah, it states, to be a made man, according to the etymon, placed beyond the reach of want,
Yep.
assured of reward or success.
Woo! Come on, man. And this is what we're fighting to be. Made men under Yahushua, man. Okay?
That's why when Yahushua came down,
Yep.
what, Matthew the 28th chapter, all power has been given to me on heaven and on earth. Because we saw the ceremony in Revelation the 5th chapter. Now we're waiting for it to manifest on earth.
You know, it says assurance and reward.
Yeah.
Hey, what's 2 Peter, 3rd chapter, goes into according to his promise.
Right.
So it's already guaranteed, man.
Yeah, it's guaranteed. Really, the game is really rigged for the prophets.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying? Because in one dimension, this is already happening. We are actually already in the kingdom of heaven. What proves that? The book of 2nd Ezra, when Ezra is witnessing Yahushua passing out those crowns. So in order to receive a vision, that event had to take place.
And this goes into the scriptures that back up the definition of made man. You know, out of the reach of want. You know, go ahead.
This is the book of 2nd Ezra, chapter 8, starting at verse 51.
Yep.
But understand thou for thyself, and seek out the glory for such as be like thee.
Yep, go ahead.
For unto you is paradise open,
Yep.
the tree of life is planted,
Yep.
the time to come is prepared, plenteousness is made ready.
Plenteous is made ready. Abundance. Okay? No more waiting on the payday. No more waiting on income tax. Okay? No more hoping and you know, all these get rich schemes and you know, all you know. Plenteous is gonna be made ready, man, because the one thing about it, how about your mouth shot, is gonna make the earth abound in resources. See, the earth is pretty much shriveled up under Esau Edom. Okay? We haven't even seen the earth in its full strength.
It's a prune.
It's a prune. You know? King Solomon, he sacrificed 125,000 sheep in one day when the temple was built. Okay? We haven't even seen 125,000 sheep in one time before. Nope. Okay? He did that in one day. So what was his inventory like, man? You know? What kind of inventory did he have? And then he threw an 8-day feast for a whole country, man. From Egypt, from modern day Egypt to Syria, he had a feast for 8 days, man. Do you know you know what type of resources it takes to do that, man?
Don't even feel it when it's over.
Yeah,
Still
man.
that place.
Abundance. We coming into abundance, man.
Can I bring out something real fast? Hey, bro, get Genesis real fast. Yeah, because the brother's talking about the condition of the earth. So if we were able to do that during the ancient time, what was the state and the condition of the earth?
Yep.
It was youthful.
Yep.
You know, it was strong. Okay, go ahead, bro. Get Genesis 1 and sorry, Genesis 1 and 9. And read to verse 2.
And it's Genesis 1 and 9. And Elohim called the firmament heaven and the evens and the morning for the second day.
Mm-hmm.
Verse 9. And the Elohim said, let the waters under the heaven be gathered together unto one place, and let the dry land appear, and it was so.
Right.
Verse 10.
Right.
And Elohim said, and Elohim called the dry land earth, and the gather together of the waters called it seas, and the Elohim saw it was good.
Right, and that's the point. So when Yahushua and the elected angels created the earth from the blueprint of the Most High, they stated it was good, right? So now jump to Genesis 2 and 8, bro. Tawab. Yeah, they said Tawab. Yes, like it, bro. That's right. They said Tawab.
Right. This is Genesis 2 and 8.
Right.
And the Most High power.
Right. So this is when Yahweh came on the scene. How do you know? You see the Lord in all caps. That didn't appear in Genesis, the first chapter. So you actually can read it, and the Lord Yahweh power, because the Lord is in all caps. He came on the scene during the second chapter. Go ahead.
And Yahweh power planted a garden eastward in Eden.
A garden eastward in Eden. Eden means what? According to the Hebrew, Idan, which means paradise. So prior to Esau fucking up everything, right? The earth was a paradise. You got to think about this. The earth is nothing but what? Maybe 10,000 years old?
Yeah, about 12,000.
Maybe it's like 12,000. You're right. About 12,000 years old. Finish that up, bro.
And there he put man whom he had formed.
Now, you got to put.
The build on the job.
Okay. You want to bring it out
Yep.
now? Go ahead.
Ezekiel 36 and 11. And I will multiply upon you man and beast, and they will increase and bring fruits. And I will settle you after your old estates, and will do better unto you than at your beginnings.
Right. You know what? Now watch this. Watch this. Bring out Revelation 21 and 1. You got to bring that one back, bro.
This book of Revelation 21 verse 1.
Right.
And I saw a new heaven and a new earth, for the first heaven and
This is talking about the kingdom of heaven / the kingdom of Yahushua, in which we will be joint heirs, Lord will, as the 144,000, man. Go ahead, bro.
when the first heaven and the first earth were passed away.
Meaning Esau's rulership has been destroyed. And with that being said, the former state of the world, the earth, will be destroyed as well. Because it has to be what? Born again through the act of nuclear destruction, man. Right? Get that, keep going.
There was no more sea.
Right. Now, get new, in the Greek.
The word new is kainos.
Right?
And it says, as respects form, recently made, fresh, recent, unused.
Now go to, that's very good, bro. Now go to, if there's the lexicon, hey, Elder Z, get ready to get yours on jet.
Okay,
on
cool.
jet. Get that new.
Right? It says new,
Watch this.
which has recently made it superior to when it succeeds.
Woo! Read that again, bro. So our earth will be much better than this earth.
That's right.
And remember, during the conception of the earth, it was considered as a paradise. But now look at the earth now, being at the age of only 12,000 years old. Now get that again. I'm sorry, man. Get that one more time, bro.
And it says new, which has recently made it superior to what it succeeds.
So our earth to come will be much better than it actually was when it was initially created. Back on your point, Elder.
Ezekiel 36 and 11. And I will multiply upon you man and beast,
Right.
and they will increase and bring fruits. And I will settle you after your old estates, and will do better unto you than at your beginnings.
Hey, so it's going to be much, much better. Now remember, during the ancient times, hey, it took 2 men to carry grapes.
Oh,
Right?
Yeah.
So think about basically once we get back into the kingdom, we're going to be much taller and everything. The fruit's going to be bigger. Everything, man.
Yep.
Go ahead.
You got it. I got it.
Go ahead.
I was gonna say, we probably couldn't even drink that wine from back then. We'd die.
Yeah.
You know, it'd be so potent.
Yeah.
You know.
And maybe our bodies are more potent to deal with it, you know.
Yeah,
you know.
for sure.
But I see what you're saying. We can't do it now with these bodies.
Right,
It's a
with
lot.
these
It's a lot.
bodies,
Yeah.
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 Maybe like Elias Wong said, we couldn't even breathe probably. You know, in these bodies, man. But the earth was so potent, man, because see, when you tap back into the earth, that make you ready for the kingdom. Because you gotta think like everything that we love and enjoy comes from the earth. Okay? You love steak, where does that come from? Cow. The wine come from the grape. Jake love being clean. Do you know your clothes come from the earth? Cotton is grown.
Yeah.
Silk come from a worm. You see? Linen, that's a plant.
Leather,
Cow,
cow.
come on, man.
Because I'm looking at these buildings, it came from the earth.
Yeah.
I had a scripture to build on what y'all just
No,
said. All right, 2nd Ezra 5 and 51. And he answered me and said, ask a woman that beareth children, and she will tell thee. Say unto her, wherefore are not they whom thou hast now brought forth like those that were before, but less of stature? showing you that the earth in its prime, it brought forth superior offspring. Because it's called Mother Earth.
Right.
And we're the offspring of the earth.
Right.
So when earth was in her prime, in her flower, she brought forth superior men and women.
Right, like King David. King David was at least 9 feet tall. So Goliath had to be, what, about 15 to 16 to 17 feet tall.
And the proof what you're saying, the earth was more superior. You have giants now, at least within the past 100 years, that were 8 feet plus, but they will all die prematurely because there's not enough nutrients in the food to support them. So you have men that the Most High bring those old genes back, but it doesn't survive in the modern earth. It doesn't survive in the modern world.
Can I back you up?
Yeah.
Hey, this is 2 Samuel 21 and verse 20. You know what? Let me start it. Yeah, I'll start right there. 2 Samuel 21 verse 20. And there was yet a battle in Gath, where was a man of great stature that had on every hand 6 fingers, and on every foot 6 toes, 24 in number, and he also was born to the giant.
Hey, and the proof, but see, the earth has to be in a certain level of strength to support giants. You see, it could barely support us because of intensive farming, commercial farming, hundreds of years without keeping the land Sabbath. But and like I said, every now and then the Most High bring those old genes back, but the earth can't support it. So those men who are 8 foot plus, they usually die prematurely. They usually grow up with a malfunction autonomy, heart, because the earth can't sustain that stature. All right, and I'm just gonna bring it out again, unless you have more.
No, that's it, bro. That's it.
Are you gonna make a point?
Yeah, just, I mean, it was just thinking about what this Jake had told me in the shop when y'all had just mentioned, like, if we were to drink the wine from back in the ancient world or breathe the air, how we could survive, man. This Jake in the shop was telling me about this. It was an Edomite, if I'm not mistaken. He hadn't bathed in like 5, 10, 15 years, man. So they got him and they cleaned him up and bathed him, got him clean and everything, and the fucker died, man. Because he was so filthy, man. Once he tried to just, you know what I'm saying, adapt to being clean, which this is how we know he ain't clean, but in his case, you know, his body couldn't handle it. So it's like, you know, we're so low level and filthy compared to the ancient day. If we were to drink that kind of stuff or breathe that air, yeah, man, we would be done for it because our body wouldn't know how to handle something very clean like that.
I break out if I put if I put those pure oils on.
Yeah.
What do you call it, shea butter? I put on shea butter, I broke out. You know, well, some things that you put in your body or on your body in this pure state, your body can't deal with.
Right.
2 Ezra 5 and 51 again. And he answered me and said, ask a woman that beareth children, and she shall tell thee, say unto her, wherefore are not they whom thou hast now forth, wherefore are not they whom thou hast now brought forth like those that were before, but less of stature? And she shall answer thee, they that be born in the strength
if I can just add, so we went from having men as tall as, what, 16, 17 feet to men now who are 4 feet tall. Midgets and shit.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? That's a curse in itself. And then the guy that I just read about, he was a Philistine. So, you know, look at Manute Bol and shit, you know what I'm saying? Yeah, Sudanese. Back on you, Elder Dog.
Hey, because even King David, he got that crown from the Moabite king. He was 70 shekels, man. I think they're like 120 pounds. Okay? Now you put a 20-pound crown in your head, they gonna break your goddamn spine.
Nick gonna snap.
Right. 2 Ezra 5 and 53. And she shall answer thee, they that be born in the strength of youth are of one fashion, and they that are born in the time of age, when the womb felleth, are otherwise. And but you know, and correct me if I'm stretching it, but you know, you got a lot of superior athletes, superior NFL players, NBA players. They're usually born to a single mama that got pregnant when she was 16, 14, 15, 16. But when those firstborn boys, they're usually physically superior. As opposed to a woman making the effort to have a baby at 30, she got to use all type of Esau's technology to have that baby at 35.
Right. Geritol. Or your dad, let's say Jake come out, they line way back there. Like, your dad had to be old like that.
Done. 2 Ezra 5 and 53 again. And she should answer thee, they that be born in the strength of youth are of one fashion, and they that are born in the time of age when the moon felleth or otherwise.
So compare the ancient men from old to the modern day men of today.
40-day fast.
Right. 40-day fast.
So you had what Methuselah, what, 969?
Yeah.
You know, think about Jake, they down at heart failure right now, 30 years old.
30 years old.
He retired the first one.
Yeah. I knew a Jake, man, Slock Elder, but I knew a Jake, basically, under 30, I think he was under 30, but was on 4 different types of blood pressure medications. Man.
Yeah, I know a Jake in his early 30s. He said he stroked out in his early 30s. You know? All right, 2nd Ezra 5 and 54. Consider thou therefore also how that ye are less of stature than those that were before you. And the Most High was talking to Ezra. So even that back then was over 2,000 years ago. So the Most High was telling him then that the men who came before you were of a superior stature. So you can only imagine the what you call it, the pre-Diluvian world, that you know, the time between Adam and the flood. And that was the most superior, pristine state of the earth. To where in the beginning we didn't even have to eat meat.
Right.
You know, you would get amped up off of real superfood.
That's it.
You know, because it was said, you know, your meat should be the fruit of the tree. That was literal.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah, because we didn't start eating meat after the flood.
After the flood.
After the flood.
You know, brothers got it. You want Colossians 3?
That makes sense. You think about it though. Now look how big those gorillas are.
Yep.
They don't eat no meat.
Nope.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
They eat plants. You know, plant-based foods.
And now it's hard to do it because there's not enough nutrients in the soil for the average person to go vegan for the next 20 years. You know, because I was a heavy advocate into, you know, the plant-based. I still am.
Yeah.
But just 100% support yourself because Esau hasn't kept a land Sabbath, all right, in hundreds of years since really probably the Industrial Revolution, you know, because what Esau started to do, he started to mass produce, and he never kept a land Sabbath. And one thing I learned about Yahweh Bashmal Shai, he always has a system for renewal. Everything is a circle. The Sabbath is a circle. The new moon is a circle every 28 days. But even the land Sabbath, every 7 years, that's a cycle. So the Most High, every cycle he renews. The Most High has systems of renewal. And the soil never renewed itself because of Esau Edom.
I know I had brought up on one time, my old man, whenever he planted his garden, he would probably plant a garden and have it in one place maybe 2 or 3 years.
Yep.
Then, you know what I'm saying, he'll move it to another location.
Yep.
He kept alternating.
Yeah. So, hey, our food source is being tainted with death.
Yeah.
All right, you got to.
This is the book of Isaiah 40 and 21. Have you not known? Have you not heard? Had it not been told you from the beginning? Have you not understood from the foundations of the earth? It is he that sitteth upon the circle of the earth, and the inhabitants thereof are as grasshoppers that stretch out the heavens as a curtain.
That was some of my spirit. Can you read that again?
It's Isaiah 40 and 22. It is he that sitteth upon the circle of the earth, and the inhabitants thereof are as grasshoppers.
And can somebody get that scripture? What is man that I am mindful of them? All right, because this is on my spirit. You know, the inhabitants of this earth are proud, but you have to understand that Yahweh Bashima Shai, the angels, they come from a whole nother realm of existence, judging us on the planet Earth. Y'all brothers have ever been into an accident, and that's the closest reality check that you're very vulnerable. That's why the Most High likened us to grasshoppers. You'll get crushed up in an accident. We get all types of videos on WhatsApp, SUV smashed into a woman. Somebody say bullets get stab wounds. Hey, do you understand how vulnerable we are in the eyes of Yahweh Bashima Shai, the angels? That's why it's intriguing how the Most High refers to us, thou son of man. That means a whole nother entity is talking to you, man. Thou worm Jacob. So the presence of Yahweh Bashima Shai, you can't bear it. That's why, the Most High, he set up Moses to deal with the people.
Right.
And the people insisted on dealing with the Most High directly. And the Most High was like, okay. Yeah.
It's like when a father, he be so mad at his child, he'll tell his wife, you deal with him.
Yep.
Because he have to deal with him. That joker might not come back from that.
That boy will be rubbing their leg for a long time. Yeah, man. So you gotta understand, because a lot of these Israelite camps, they don't fear Yahweh Bashima Shai. See, blessed is thou that fear him before the judgment, goddammit. All right, you got it, brother.
It says, it is he that sitteth upon the circle of the earth.
Hey, the circle of the earth proving the earth is not flat. and it's not a literal circle. How in the world can we be standing right here like this, looking all 360 around us if the earth was just a flat circle? Also, you got something called 1 dimensions, 2 dimensions, and 3 damn dimensions. Meaning you have a stick or a dot, that's 1 dimension. All right, length and width together makes a square, that's 2 dimensions. But when you add goddamn depth, that's 3 dimensions. All right? That's why you're able to see. You got a video game, you can turn the little noggin, and now you can see the whole side of the head. Like I'm saying, you can see, I forgot the dude's name. You can see CJ's side of his head. Or when y'all create your creative players on NBA, they turn 360. But the most high circle is just two dimensions, it's flat. Stick figures, man. Your whole heart beating, you know?
Or why Christopher Columbus, he was still off the damn map.
Right. Why he off the map, man? You know? So that's elementary, man. But if you think the earth is flat, you got demons on you, man. All right, but that's interesting, the circle of the earth. And then you get that in second essence, you can just, Google it if you can't. It said, I liken my judgment to a ring. Because the Most High has systems of renewal. See, this nigga, I'm going to call you nigga, he doesn't understand the mind of Yahweh or the Eastern mind. The Eastern mind is all about cycles. Those high holy days, are like how can you call it, like checkpoints on earth. It's like stopping points where everything is checked and renewed, and
Circle of life.
like on this side, I'm gonna start reading, but like on this side of Babylon, Jake is grieved over the Sabbath. I can't smash. Here we are in the hardest working country on earth, literally, and you trying to rush the Sabbath.
Right.
You should be glad that you can sit down
And rest.
Fuck. Because the Most High, he's all about, he has systems to renew the spirit, man, and the body. All right?
This second Ezra 5:42. And he said unto me, I will liken my judgment unto a ring.
Hey, you hit this brother Karatazar back in Florida, and I'm sure you remember him. His brother fell out, but the spirit's going to break that down. Hey, I liken my judgment to a ring. Now, don't they say in the world what goes around comes around? See, you brought up this the breakdown of the word karma. And the word karma means he makes. But that's the nature of the Most High. That whatever you cast into the waters, it's going to come back unto you, man. That's why it says cast out bread into the waters. All right, so they call it karma. They call it the universe. But really, that's the system of Yahweh Shema Shai. And whatever you put back, it's going to hit you with a boomerang effect. And it might hit you in your next life. You see, Yahweh Shai got hit with that boomerang effect, all right, when he came back as Yahweh Shai. All that shit King Solomon did, Yahweh Shai had to pay for that. You see? That's the Most High liking his judgment to a ring.
Got you.
All right?
And this is Ecclesiastes 1:6. The wind go toward the south and turn about unto the north. It whirleth about continually. And the wind return again according to its circuits.
Hey, the wind returned again according to its circuits, man.
Yeah.
A circle goes like the circle.
That's it.
Hey, the circle of life, the food, what do you call it? The food chain? The food chain? The food pyramid? Or the food, what you call it? No, the food chain. Like this animal eats that animal eats that animal.
Oh yeah, the circle of life.
Yeah, the circle of life, man. All right, even the systems on earth, the water cycle, where it rains and the water evaporates, then it goes back into the air, and it comes back down a mountain, it goes down the stream to a lake, to an ocean, to a river, But it's most of create systems, man. And that's what, hey, brothers be excited about that, man. It's those systems. The earth has self-sustaining systems, man. It's a filtering system, man. And the law is a system. That's what Jake don't understand. Which law am I breaking? Like, nigga, you in Babylon. You breaking 97% of them.
And not 99.
Yep.
Now, so you remember Lion King with Mufasa, he was playing that to young Simba, the
Yup.
time frame?
Yup.
Like when you eat this, it go back to the earth
Yup.
and stuff like that. It
Yup.
just regenerates, man.
Hey, because the Most High's, you said a filtering system. You said a filtering system. Now, a lot of the Most High's filtering animals, can somebody get that? All these things that are useless, I think that's Sirach 36. The Most High's filtering animals, it might not be the most physically aesthetic, but their beauty is so beautiful. Like a catfish is ugly. A catfish will eat anything. A buzzard is ugly, and they got that unclean vibration on the other bun. You talked about that before. like a deer has that like a peaceful vibration. But those buzzards, they got like a really, it's like a demonic vibration. It's like a, you know, in your spirit not to get too close to it. But those animals are beautiful in their purpose, because one of the most powerful things you can do on earth is really cleanse. Like you see sanitation workers, they got some of the most vital positions on earth, man. You know?
Yeah, I respect them, like those sanitation workers,
Yup.
man, those garbage truck men.
Yup.
Man.
Yep. See, and it's heavy. And you said a filtering system. You just get into the laws. Those sins into death. Also, that's part of that filtering system within the law. The stoning to death. That was part of that filtering system. Because the Israelites like it to a house. Now, if you never take out the trash, what do you call it? House hoarding. That's why it says in Psalms 12 and 8, the wicked walk on every side when the balanced men are exalted. When the balance or the Esau was exalted in his house, all right, that means you have all type of low lives walking the earth. So, yep. No, that's why, hey, the laws create filtering systems to keep out homosexuals, adulterers, you know, sluggards, you know?
You notice how it started at a young age when that unruly son,
Yep.
you know, get what, about 12 years old?
Yep.
And when he be unruly, you stop it right there.
Yep.
Because that cancer's going to grow, it's going to spread.
Hey, that's
man.
right, brother. Yep. So you got it.
And you don't want that to reproduce itself.
Exactly.
Because right now, when you look at nigga culture, it's a culture that reproduces itself to destroy itself.
Yep.
You reproducing your own destruction.
Yep.
Okay? Brenda got a baby. To one to get a baby, them two niggas gonna destroy each other.
Yep.
So you reproducing your own destruction.
Yep.
How you think about it in the spirit? Also, like, you know, these false prophets, they see one break out, you know, go against the doctrine or whatever, breaking down the scriptures wrong. You gonna see another Israelite will do the same thing, because there's no judgment there right then and there. And once that judgment starts, then that's when them niggas are like, oh shit, you know what I'm saying?
Because before them two niggas kill each other, they gonna have 8 other women pregnant.
Yep.
Yeah, see, now them niggas done multiply.
Yep.
And now you got Oak Block.
This is how it all starts.
Took in them and shit.
Yep.
This is Ecclesiasticus 42 and 23. All things live and remain forever for all uses, and they are all obedient.
And they are all obedient. So all the things the Most High created are obedient. And you was going back to really nip it in the bud, right? And you gotta cut that counts off in the beginning, because if not, it's gonna reproduce itself. And the worst thing you can do for a disease is create an environment for that disease.
Yep.
That's the worst thing you can see. Nigga culture, these hoods in America, that's an environment that generates the disease. It's a city. That's the worst thing you can have. It's like, you know how they say, now don't leave that pot of water by the house, it's gonna attract mosquitoes.
Right.
You know, don't be by that swamp. That's where all the mosquitoes and gnats are. All right, that's take the environment. Now it's a toxic environment that generates that wickedness. To the point where even the vibration is off. Like when you go to suburbs, it's a different feeling than going in the city, man.
Alkaline.
It's alkaline. The air alkaline. You know? The brother had something.
It's 1 Corinthians 5 and 6. It says, your glorifying is not good. Know ye not that little leavening the whole lump.
See Sakari. Sakari is one dimensional. You got the fridges, you got a beard, and they keep it law. Pursuant to Deuteronomy, the 6th chapter, the law is so we can have a self-sustaining nation. See, we've been institutionalized in Babylon so long that we are obsessed with starting a business, maybe a district. No, the Most High gave us laws that cover every facet of life. That's a real so-called religion. Yeah, the book of life, beautiful. The laws are set up to cover every facet of life. And it's a dietary law, it's a ceremonial law, judicial laws, all right? Because within those laws, like the brothers break it down, there's a filtering system. That's why in the church, they say the law is done away with, but you follow Esau's law.
Yeah.
You see?
Yeah. Hey, if I can add
Nope,
to the
you got it.
precept that the brother just brought up, going to have all things have their uses, they all obey the Most High. Because when the body goes in the ground, you can't stop it from decomposing.
Nope.
Okay, when it's a dead animal, you can't stop the vultures from coming down. They're designed to do that. You can't stop a beaver from building dams. That's what they do.
It is beautiful.
They program within them to do that.
And that can't possibly come from a random explosion in the universe. How can a random explosion in the universe created a system where all these, even the microorganisms, they got a duty. All those microorganisms, they all have a mission when they exist. Your sperm, how does it know when you ejaculate in a woman? They know exactly where to go and exactly what to do. Hey, Howard Shai, when he created existence, you know? Hey, man, come on, man.
And if I could say, that's why a woman's supposed to really only have one man, because, you know, only so many sperm cells gonna hit that egg and stick. The rest of them gonna linger in her. That's like a marker that this is mine.
Yep.
You know?
Not a warrior sperm. Just fall back and fight off, you know, forward sperm.
Yep. Hey, because the woman is like into the earth,
A lot
man.
of fighting right.
You only plant your seed in one level of soil. We got a law on mingling diverse seeds.
And then y'all was talking about the system of animals, right? This is Ecclesiastes 3:21. Who know the spirit of man that go upward into the spirit world, right?
Yep.
And the spirit of the beast that go downward to the earth.
Yep.
So when a lion dies, it comes right back on earth. Why? Because the animal kingdom is in order. So they don't have to go to the spiritual world and be judged, man.
Yeah, as soon as he died, a little cub is born somewhere.
Right.
You know, a circle of life, man.
Circle of life, man.
And it's heavy, man.
That's a cut on the hill, got you too.
Yeah,
Instead of go upwards.
Yeah, they had a movie called All Dogs Go to Heaven. Remember that movie? Hey, apparently our dogs don't go to heaven, man. You see? Because they don't have no, they already in order, man. Because because they, even if you go on Google, they call it a kingdom.
Yeah.
Every species of animals has their kingdom. And within their kingdom, they have their own system to govern themselves, man. You know? I saw how the chimpanzees were functioning. They were functioning like a military trying to get some territory.
Dude.
You know?
Ants.
Yep.
Fucking ants, man.
Hey, when he removed them wolves from Yellowstone Park, they threw off the whole ecosystem.
Yep.
Because what was happening when he removed the wolves, then the moose, they didn't have to run. So what they would do when they would graze, they would kill all the herbs that the beavers eat. So then the beavers started dying. Then the beavers couldn't build the dams, and then you had the bears, you know, they couldn't eat because, you know, they fish, you know, so he had to bring the wolves back.
Yep.
Showing you that,
Oh, you got it, bro.
showing you that you can't remove a vital part out of the system. It's like Esau. He'll move your tonsils. Yeah, you don't need that.
Yeah.
That's how the nigga do, man.
Right.
You know?
It's the negative. It's an interest.
So what I don't really-
Hey, well, I don't know if y'all ever seen the show The Shine, but the guy Duda, he told Reggie, he was like, it's a delicate balance in the ecosystem, because they had to coexist with other gangs.
Yeah.
It's like a prison. You have to coexist with other gangs and shit. It's a delicate balance in the ecosystem. You throwing it off, and that's how the earth is, man, in its natural state. That's a delicate balance with the food chain. You know, and the most I got it set up to where when one species overpopulates, a parasite will conjure up out of the earth and kill so many numbers of that species just to keep that equilibrium at bay. You know? Hey, the most I don't need man's assistance to sustain the earth, man.
Just got governed.
Yep.
Esau really just supposed to govern, but he interjects and disrupts.
Yep. That's why Gad didn't like you, man.
Hate you niggas.
We hate you, nigga. Yeah, that's right, brother. That's right, man. Hey, Ruben nodding his head. Hey, man, we hate you, brothers. We hate you niggas, man.
Levi too.
And Levi Hale, you know, Benjamin over there fine, man.
Oh, 12.
Jews stay talking shit. We stay roaring at your ass right now, you know. Hey, man, you. Yes, man. Hey, can somebody get that in Isaiah? The earth is defiled under the inhabitants thereof. It's the spirit, man. Isaiah 24. Hey, if you start studying the planet Earth, I'm willing, man, if it ain't too late, I'm gonna go home and watch Planet Earth again, man. There'll be a lot of instant.
Netflix.
Yeah, Netflix. It is on YouTube too. Our Planet. Because you know what I'm saying? Like, the Most High is beautiful because he really put them gazelles and zebras out so they can play. And just be enjoying life, man.
Hey, and these insects are so intelligent. I saw one time a spider, and it was like in the territory of the ants and shit like that. So what the spider did was it made it appear like it was an ant. It like had its fucking front legs, and you know like how those fucking ants got that shit. The spider did that, and it was like marching with them fucking ants. And as soon as it had a chance to break free and zipped out that bitch, bro.
Hey,
A fucking spider, son.
hey, you know what? You know what I believe though? Like, you know those gorillas are very intelligent too,
Yeah,
and they're very peaceful. But what happened was Esau found some type of value in hunting them, so he downplayed their existence to justify hunting them. He started putting out propaganda that they were dangerous beasts. He did the same thing to humans. They said we want to take over some land. Now those people are savages, pagans, you know, ISIS,
Endangered species.
So what Esau did, Esau dumbed down existence so he could remain superior. That's why Eve treated us like shit. Because guess what? Esau told her that we were just basic niggas. He told the world that Issachar was just a wetback that could build a goddamn construction site.
Right.
So now you walk around with Esau eyes. You walk around the world with a Trump complex, man. You see?
It's the video on YouTube about the Maroons. They like they from the tribe of Benjamin, and they pretty much live a secret out there in the alley. You know what I'm saying? So now Esau doing videos on there trying to study their war tactics, how they used to do in the ancient world, man. So now they getting more exposed to YouTube and stuff like that.
Nah, it's all right.
Pretty soon,
it's over now.
then pretty soon they're gonna have a Burger King over there. You know what I'm saying? Goddamn Whataburger.
Because you got some called blues on. Well, you know what? Get the scripture roll, we'll get on it. Because
I'll start at verse 4, bro.
Okay.
It's Isaiah 24, verse 4. It says, the earth mourned and faded away.
The earth mourning. Hey, what brothers was breaking down? Oh, I think other hour run from Birmingham. You know, the earth is, if you look at the earth from a satellite point of view.
Yeah, you see all the streets is like they got wet, like a whip.
Come on, man.
Because this is suffocating, man. The earth is supposed to, the earth breathes. It's an organism.
Yup.
You know, he's always fracking this oil the earth is an organism and it's like a machine. And when you deal with machinery, they have to stay lubricated. You know?
Yep.
So this man is draining all the lubrication from the earth, covering up with concrete and pollution, blocking out sunlight with the chemtrails. This man, the earth is just a shit show, man.
Well, on those job sites, they got somewhere nobody goes to work, and so it's like maintenance day.
Yep.
It's like, okay, everybody's off work, but you show up to work to maintenance the machines.
Yep.
So we're not gonna run the machine, we're just gonna maintenance the machine so the machines can stay functioning and maintain their longevity. All right, that's why we had Sabbaths, and this, that, and the third, man. Can you read that again about the shop? But this nigga is obsessed with mass production. This nigga is obsessed with profit. To the point where he's gonna kill himself to make a profit.
Low quality, high profit.
Yeah.
Low quality, that's the motto, man. Stretch out the product, there's 100 ingredients on it. Come on, man.
It says Isaiah 24, verse 4, the earth mourned and faded away. The world languished and faded away.
And the way you know that the earth is happy is if it produces.
Right.
Because if you buy a plant, right, if you nurture that plant, some of those plants start producing what? Flower buds. The way you know you're taking care of those plants, if it start producing flowers, if it start blossoming, that's how you know you're doing your job. But if it don't, what happens? It starts to wither. All right, so the earth is not blossoming. It's not producing its best fruit. Or it's not giving you its best, showing you that it's in a state of mourning. That's right. You got it, bro.
Okay. It says the haughty people of the earth do languish. The earth also is defiled under the inhabitants thereof.
Well, the 12 tribes ain't gonna do shit. All we do is go to work and go home. So who actually runs the earth? See, you gotta read this Bible from a ruling class perspective. The Most High ain't worried about no workers. The Most High is worried about, okay, who's running the earth? Who's responsible for the mindset of these people? Who's responsible for the earth being in a state of decline?
Why animals becoming extinct?
You got polar bears drowning trying to get to the next goddamn glacier. Skinny ass polar bears can't find food.
Yeah, they walking on grass.
Yup, like what the fuck? You gotta come on.
Hey, Job 9:24. The earth is given into the hand of the wicked.
Hey, who's the wicked according to the Bible? Esau, Edom. Let me ask you brothers a question. What's defined as being wicked? What makes a man wicked, man?
Standing in the street.
Yeah, he doesn't keep the scriptures. He doesn't follow the laws. That's why Wisdom of Solomon 6, it gives you the rundown if you run the earth. You gotta desire wisdom. They don't desire wisdom, they desire profit. They desire greed, money, man. That's why, and that's why it says children are their oppressors. Now we look on the online dictionary to look up the word children, like what constitutes a child, and it said that someone who is immature and irresponsible. So Esau is immature and he's irresponsible. And as you can see, the state of the earth, he's not responsible, because when you put in a position of management, you're responsible for the welfare of your inhabitants.
This nigga's a slumlord.
Yup. Hey, does not it say that a man has care of his flock? That's spiritual and literal. So you gotta have care of your inhabitants, man.
And just to back up Yash, Ecclesiastes 12 and 13, let us hear the conclusion of the whole matter. Fear the Most High and keep his commandments, for this is the whole duty of man.
Because if you keep the commandments, you really keep the planet Earth. You follow the commandments, and that's why God was so big and Reuben was so big on respecting the earth, man, and those land sabbaths. Because you have to understand, you have to maintain the house that you live in. You have to respect that house that you live in. You see, you have to keep the house that you live in clean, man. Esau's a nasty nigga that don't keep up with his house. Don't keep his house clean. You will hold us on, bro?
Yeah. That's how you want to bring out one. This is the book of Psalms, chapter 82, verse 5. They know not, neither will they understand. They walk on in darkness, and the foundation of the earth are out of course.
You was gonna speak on? You was gonna say something?
Yeah, just the foundation of the earth is out of course, man. You know, because this is a system that's tainted, like you say, by corruption. Okay, and also like Esau, like he like to take shortcuts and everything.
Yep.
You know, and that's the vibration that you see from people. Everybody trying to take shortcuts.
Yep.
No one wants to, you know, nobody going back to the get rich scheme. Everybody want a shortcut. Nobody want to go through the process of anything, man.
Yep.
And Esau, you know, he has created a system, you know, full of shortcuts, man.
Yep.
Where everything is suffering, man.
Yep. No, you got it, bro.
Everything that he brings to the earth and present is good. That's how you know there's a circle, because he presents is good, but he don't tell you about the death on the back end, man. You know?
Esau has everybody in his kingdom addicted to instant gratification. But the reality of instant gratification, it engenders long-term consequences.
So really, being conservative creates abundance.
Yep. That's right.
See, being conservative creates a system of abundance. The reason why people are in this rat race now, because everybody is moving based off convenience. Okay? But going back to Gad and Reuben, they had more than enough buffalo. They had more than enough gold. They kept the gold. They kept some gold in the water. So when you were drinking water, you was getting the actual colonials, man.
Hey, I was gonna say that you doing that colloidal gold?
Yeah, you
Hey,
get the actual colonials, man.
Come on, man. Come on, man.
And then Gad and Reuben would utilize everything. If they killed one buffalo, they would create clothes, meat. They would use the bones for either weapons, or jewelry. You know, they got jewelry made out of deer bone. They utilize that whole animal, man. Okay?
Yep. Because America could feed nations through their waste. You know, if you go to a restaurant, just within that 24-hour span that restaurant was open, America could feed nations through the food that they don't eat.
40%.
40%. Really?
40%.
Break that down for me, bro.
If you take, like, you go to a restaurant, if you got the food and the place that they sold compared to what they threw away, they throw away 40% of what they sold.
So if America,
Them plates half eaten. and
Yeah.
all that, you know.
hey, that's why I said, thou that I give into pleasure. All right, you got it, brother.
And y'all, you know how you say how Esau like the shortcut things?
Yep.
Like, you know, you think about like John D. Rockefeller. He came out with the American Medical Association. We started adding like petroleum with the pharmaceuticals. You know what I'm saying? And that way, that's when he made an oath to the people that they cannot no longer deal with illicit type of medicines, man. You got to deal with his certain-based drugs, man.
That's where we get the quacks from.
Yeah.
We talk about herbs, you're a quack.
You're a quack.
And then
That's
you-
where that terminology started.
And you would end up killed too.
Yeah.
You would die in a car
And
accident.
then I keep those oaths.
Yup.
You know what I'm saying?
In my field. But hey, Esau that's the nature of a child. The nature of a child is impulsive.
Yep.
Now all Americans are impulsive because they're addicted to instant gratification. All right, you're addicted to quick sex. All right, you're addicted to quick food. All right, you're addicted to just instant results. But what happens is the quality of life diminishes. The quick sex, well, the family structure is dead. The quick food, everybody's obese and sick with something. You know?
Touching back on Esau's pharmaceuticals, like even when he come out with a drug, we'll do like the active ingredient like elderberry extract. But the rest of the shit is harmful to you, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like everything's always gotta be like an active ingredient, but it goes back to the earth or the main herb or something like that.
Burdock root.
Yeah, burdock root or something like ginger. You know what I'm saying? But the rest of the shit is poison though.
And then what happens is either it's the active ingredient or his chemicals imitate the actual herb.
That's right. That's why it be like an extract.
Yeah, and then what Esau does now, if it's not tainted, I'm gonna sell it 3 times the price. They call it organic. You know? Because if you was born in a rural area at a certain period of time, all right, all those fruit were organic. But now, so basically, he charges you extra for not tainting it, man. It's like a grass-fed burger. All meat is supposed to be grass-fed, but this grass-fed burger is gonna be $13, nigga. All right, I can sell you this. I can sell you my bullshit for $2. But you want this grass-fed the way the Most High made it? That's gonna run you a check.
What you said, Yashi?
Yup.
You said he probably ate, that cow probably ate the grass probably one day,
Yep.
2 days or something.
Because you got something called grass-fed and grass-finished. You know?
Remember, there was an article going out how they was feeding them
grazing
candy
on the
and
way to the
shit.
slaughterhouse.
Yeah, you know?
Yeah.
You know, this article came out years ago how they was feeding them cows candy,
It
man.
was a farmer, and then what he stated was, he said that the cows that he sold to the public was actually set in a different pasture than the cows he fed to his family. Because he said he didn't want to do it, but the government was coming down on him, and so you should have seen the way those cows look compared to the cows that was actually
Looking like
grass fed, man. Well, one, man,
They basically call it dog food, if I'm not mistaken. It's like not getting half your own supply.
Yeah.
Like the product you sell to people is not the product that you use for yourself.
Yeah.
People who run McDonald's are probably vegetarians.
Yeah.
All right?
This is like,
No, you got it, brother.
This nigga gotta go.
You gotta go, man.
God.
Hey,
damn.
immature, irresponsible.
Yeah, this nigga doing too much.
Yeah,
The
man.
cows now later
Yeah.
and shit.
that's what it was.
Yeah.
That's
you
what
shitting
they
me.
eat.
Yeah.
Oh, now
Yeah.
Yeah.
You should have seen those cows, bro.
So now you got yellow 5 in the beef.
Yup.
Sweet meat.
How that happen? Cow got cavities, man.
Yeah.
Come on, man.
And this Ecclesiastes 10:4. The power of the earth is in the hand of the Lord, and in due time he will set over it one that's profitable.
And the power of the earth is in the hand of Yahweh, so there's no space for pride between nations. The Most High sets up a nation and puts down a nation. But Esau is the most childish of all nations.
Yeah.
All right?
Has made Jake child.
Yep.
That's why, nigga, all these things we talking about, pretty much we're crying a sign
Yep.
right now. Okay? Well, the nigga is worried about what type of car he got.
Yep. That's a child.
That's a child, man. The earth is falling apart around you,
Right.
and you worry about a goddamn car, man. Cause they're like a child, like you probably catching hell with the bills, but your little child gonna be what, playing with toys, playing. He don't know all this going on.
Right.
You know, he don't know y'all check the check.
Yep.
You see,
Wow.
showing that what, man. There's a lot of Israelites that are still children, man. Worried about childish things when we should be crying to get the hell out of here, man.
If the majority of life is centered around entertainment, you're a child.
Yeah.
Like you don't care about like what's actually going on earth.
Yeah.
You just care about your little bubble.
Right.
You know what clubs popping. The old girl you gonna smash. Yeah, that's all you care about.
I was talking to one of my delivery guys about, just the news. He was like, man, he pretty much can't stomach it. You know what I'm saying? So, that shows you how Jake, they don't want to deal with reality, man.
A lot of people not watching the news no more, man.
It's too depressing.
You hear that from
You
Jacob
see
Lyle,
nothing,
man.
The news gonna come to you. You know, you gotta watch it.
Special delivery.
Yeah, news gonna come to you,
But
nigga, man.
that's your purging into manhood when you accept reality. See, that's part of your process of being so-called red pill. When you start to accept reality, that's part of your development into being a man.
Story, man.
Yep, take it on the chin.
Becoming more of like a spiritual story.
Yep.
Because you accepting it.
Yup.
Because just because you don't watch it doesn't mean it doesn't exist.
Exactly.
It still exists.
That tree fell in that forest, goddamn
It
it.
fell.
Yeah.
Somebody or something heard.
Yeah.
One way or the other, you're going to have to deal with it soon.
Hey, I'm not seeing this.
Yeah, yeah.
I'm not seeing this.
Yeah.
You know? Brother say anything?
We'll jump back to Isaiah 24.
Yeah, we finished it off. We're gonna ready to close it down.
It's back in Isaiah 24:5. The earth also is defiled under the inhabitants thereof
Yep.
because they have transgressed the laws.
And like if you put a bunch of kids in a living room, right, and you leave, you go out of town, and what happens when you, huh? Oh, Home Alone, Home Alone. You put a badass child in that house over the weekend and go out of town. All right, come back to that house when that weekend is over and watch the state of that house, man. That's how you know Esau Edom is a damn child. And once again, if you look up the word child in the online dictionary, it goes back to immature and irresponsible. And irresponsible is a big word. Because when you're in a position of management, leadership, you're responsible for the things under you, man. You know, and that's a sign of somebody being irresponsible when the things under you go into a state of decay. Now this is called the decadent Roman Empire. Decadent goes back to decay. Because the rulers are irresponsible. You see?
This is the book of Job 30:8. They were children of fools, yea, children of base men.
Hey, base literally means low level. You know, you're subject to your primitive nature. You know, you're impulsive, you're instinctive, you're primal, you're of the flesh. Sons of the wicked. All right? Yep.
They were viler than the earth.
Violent in earth, low life, no morals. Because there's a nature to the so-called white man. There's a reason why 80% of pedophiles are so-called white men. Right. All right, that means they have a natural disposition for pedophilia. They have a natural disposition for wickedness. You know, they have a natural disposition to backstab you for material gain. They're Machiavellian. That's not just one man. That's the nature of his nation. That's his people.
It's one other thing that, you know, that Esau do, man, that I noticed even when I was in the world, man, that this devil, man, he'll have you know how they have them landfills where they know all the trash and everything going shit. Once they reach this capacity and they ain't really got them a room, you know, they'll cover it all up with dirt and shit. And then they'll build like a houses on there pretty much for Jake. But I know out there in Texas, they always put a goddamn soccer field on it for Gad, man, or not Gad, but Issachar, man, right on top of the fucking trash and shit, man. And that right there, man, itself is just, it's really wicked, man, because that shit, you don't really know what's in there, man. It might be like oil cans and shit that releases gases or whatever, man, but they never do it because, like, they wanted to do one in Madison, man, but them either might be like, hell no. Because I know the guy at Waste Management, he said they wasn't letting him do it, man, but whenever it's somewhere that Jake gonna be, they'll do it quick, man.
And whenever you implement something into existence, you have to have a system that cleanses it out. You have to have a system that filters it out. You just can't put something into the earth without having a system to where it's gonna cleanse itself out, man. It is the waste just stays there.
Right.
You know, that's poison, man.
Yeah, it's chemicals. So pretty much when you go into it, things are supposed to break down. You know? When you go into how everything is created, everything is supposed to break down.
Decompose.
And then you go to the ancient world, they didn't have styrofoam. They had actual pottery. Things of the earth. That they would be able to pass that down. You know? But this man had styrofoam cups, the red cups, plastic bags. But they were finding what they call the mask and the gloves from the lockdown. They was finding them in the ocean, man.
Come on, man.
And then Sean, going back to what you said, how you know the earth is happy, because remember that first lockdown, you could feel the earth trying to breathe. The animals was at peace. Yeah, you had the animals in Africa just lying in the street, you know, just chilling. You know? Yep. But see, that's what we fight for, man. This is bigger than, you know, us calling ourselves kings. And, you know, no. We talking about implementing righteousness in the earth, man. You know, first of all, for the benefit of Israel, the people of the suffering, and then for the benefit of the earth, man. Because if we those first fruit, we help Yahweh Shah creating these things, man. And that's why it's so personal to us, man. What this nigga is doing to the earth, man. You know?
Yep. And going back to a child not caring about the reality around them, the city is like a child, or the city is for children.
Yep.
So you don't really care about the reality outside of that, because as long as within the grid, you're having fun, you don't care about the destruction happening around you. Close out on this scripture, bro.
This is the book of Ecclesiastes, Sirach in the Apocrypha, chapter 10, verse 14. The Lord has cast down the thrones of the proud princes and set up the meek in their stead.
And that's the end of it all. And that's the times that we're entering into, the parting asunder of times. But Esau was the end of the world, Jacob is the beginning of the follow him. Esau was the proud prince, and Jacob is the meek that's going to follow him, man. The afflicted. All right, but any brothers have any closing statements? And with that, we hope you brothers and sisters were edified. Once again, we want to give our honor and glory to
Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushua Ba'ashem Rakadash.
Never honor to our elder apostles and elder bishops of the great millstone rule well. Peace and blessing to the house of David the elect. Abba Ba.
Shalom.
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 Great.